Hi, greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 400 of the New Look Words About Games podcast, the weekly gamer podcast for words about games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander, and I'm joined this week by Mr. Daffy Moody.
Doodly do, everybody. It's Friday. You know what that means. It is video game day, the holiest of holy days. That's right, Jesus has got nothing on it. I'm joking. Don't come from.
Get him.
I hope everyone has had a great week.
And we're also joined by Mr. Vitz Patel.
What's good, everybody? Amy's right. We got a new look. We got a new feel. It's episode 400, everybody. Congrats, each and every one of you.
Yeah,
I've only been to about 2 of them.
Yeah,
It still counts.
I've been here for almost all of them. You didn't miss much. New look, same idiots.
That's it. Now we're pink. There you go.
Yeah, there's some pink down there.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to edit the intro video into the video itself in the editing program.
Yeah. I think that
It'll
might
be
be better,
easier
but-
for you.
Yeah, I was like letting it run, and we were all just sat here like, and I was like, I forgot where it ended. I was like, I've watched this a few times, but I forgot where it ended. And then as the names were coming up, I was like, we should get like really dumb pictures of each of us to like put up, like, hey,
Yeah,
featuring Amy, and it's just like, you know, like one of my like.
Yeah, exactly. I'm rubbing my eye.
And then while I was thinking about that, ended and it went black, and I was like, oh. And we're not all rich people, so we don't all have stream decks.
Oi.
That's right, Fitz. I'm calling you out.
Yeah.
I did it to Elfie when she was like, oh, look at my stream deck. And I was like, oh, must be nice being rich. So, you know, I've got to be consistent.
To be fair, it was a birthday present.
Oh, so you've got rich relatives?
Friends.
Friends. You've got rich friends.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm calling them out, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know who they are, but
We'll send you a list so you can target them.
do it. Yeah, go ahead. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. Been a week, but television is good. Video games are video gaming, and I'm here hanging out with some wonderful friends. What could be better?
If I was playing Dragon's Dogma. How you doing, Moody?
I'm hunky dory. I'm tired. I won't lie. It's been a bit of a week at work, but no. Yeah. I'm good. Cracking on as always. I agree with what Vitz said. TV is good right now. It's not bad at all. Video games are video gaming.
Yep, they should. They do be
It's
video
all
gaming.
weird. Video games are video gaming. I bought a video game today. I bought Aliens Dark Descent this morning.
Wow.
I went,
Paid money for a video game? Wow.
I paid money for a video
What
game.
is this?
Why?
Why?
It's well. Game Pass failed me, and so did PlayStation Plus. So I was like, "You're failing me, both of me." So I'll screw you. But thankfully, as it's Friday, it's Alien Day. So hopefully, cross fingers, a new trailer for Alien Romulus, and I'm going yay in the next episode. Yeah. And whatnot, but no, yeah, because it's Alien Day coming up. Obviously, I knew the game was probably going to go on cheaper. Can't think of the word.
Sale.
Yeah.
Sale. Thank you. My brain literally just went. The word went that way. My brain went that way. But no, yeah, the sale. Yeah, I knew it was going to go on sale. So, I had a hint it was going to go on sale. But
Moody,
I thought, why not?
Just a question at work, and you don't have to answer this question in any detail, but like it's a setup for a joke more than anything else. Are you working on an indie game at work right now?
Yeah.
It's just, you're the more you talk, the more pixelated you're becoming.
I talk the more. Pixelated
It was
talk.
funny, yeah. As the more you were talking about Alien, like the fewer pixels.
Oh, on my camera.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Discord's having issues.
I think Discord has
I've got a good ass
targeted you.
camera.
I'm not questioning your camera. I'm
It's not
questioning
the camera.
the signal that Discord is doing with the camera feed.
Are you downloading all of the Alien films in 4K?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, all on 4K. But no, I'm not.
Discord be doing you dirty.
It's like you've got
Sounds
every
about
single Alien film running on all of the screens in your house right now. Uh-oh.
Is that better?
I forgot what
Turn the
happened.
camera on and off.
I forgot
That's
what
how
happens.
that's how it works, right? So you just turn things on and off.
Maybe just led you to a punchline and then you just were deadpan because you were focused on fixing your camera.
I'm sorry, my brain goes in one direction.
It's
I
all
hear something's
good.
wrong, it's not working. I go, well, I now have to fix it. My idiot's brain is just going to go, well, this is going to annoy me the entire episode now. So I either rectify this or I ignore everything else around me.
It's fine. You like 16-bit games. Now you look
There
like
you
one.
go.
That's true. I do like 16-bit games. So yeah. Yes.
Like that
yeah.
really annoying picture Vitz showed us in the Discord of like, imagine what Final Fantasy would have looked like if it came out in the 90s.
So, okay, dear listeners, so this was one of the dumbest pictures I've ever seen in my life. So, someone had done a box art for Final Fantasy VII, and they did the caption, what if FF7 came out in the 90s? Okay, there's many different problems with that. One, it was a PS2 box. That's a bit like Amy's go-to.
No.
And then it was kind of like, okay, so who's going to tell them?
The graphical fidelity of the characters on the box was what annoyed me the most. It's like games did not look like that in the 90s. Games barely look like that now. All you did was take the characters and just like give them that like weird pixely like filter.
What they've done is they've probably put it through an AI filter.
Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Balance.
And they tried to put,
yeah.
now I am smart.
Yeah.
There's
Put this
a
out.
lot of
Content.
sweet summer
Smart
childs out
thing.
there.
Yeah.
Content,
It's like-
baby.
Idiots.
Ah.
Like I was late to it, so that's why I don't think I responded to it, but it made me laugh at the same time. I
It's
was
all
like,
good.
oh, God, man, there's
Like, why would you do
idiots
this?
out there, man. This is so like
Just
I
one
remember
Google
the
search.
one thing. I remember this all the time. My mama always said, "Don't if think before you do anything." These people don't think before they do anything.
Or maybe they did think, they just didn't think about the thing they ought to have done, which is one Google search, and it would have served them a whole lot of egg on their face.
This game come out in the 90s.
It did.
Oh shit! It did.
The PS2 didn't exist in the 90s. The game did. I was there, Gandalf. I was there 4,000 years ago.
Isildur!
Sephiroth.
That's it, exactly. That's the line.
So that was
Yeah,
part
so
of my
the-
week. Yeah. Yeah, I've been playing video games.
How are you,
again.
Amy?
Yeah, you know. Well, let's not get into that. It's been a good week. I've been playing a lot of Dragon's Dogma 2. The game I accidentally
Yeah.
got sent by Boomerang, and it was there, and I didn't have anything to play, and I just went, let's just chuck it in the disk drive. And then I just chucked it
built
in the disk
yourself a
drive, and then I was
muscle mommy.
like, I didn't. I built myself a thief, a little sneaky thief, and then I was like, don't like this fighting style. Let me try an archer. And I was like, no, this is even more boring. Oh dear, maybe I don't like this game. And then I was like, I'll try the soldier. And I was like, okay, the soldier's better. And then the game was like, hey, if you find a great sword for me, we'll let you be a warrior. And I was like, that sounds like fun. And now here we are.
There we go.
It is
Yeah.
video games. But yeah, no. Apart from that, not a lot. Like, I was at my local shopping center today, and I saw a game. I'm hoping they still have in the shop. In 2 weeks when I can buy it. What was it called? Evercade, I think, or Ever something. It's a From Software game from the year 2000, published by Ubisoft on the PS2.
Did you do that thing where you pick up the box but you put it like at the back of the shelf in the hopes that it
No,
gets
well,
hidden?
it's all spine on. So
Oh,
I
okay,
couldn't.
right. Yeah.
I feel like if I'd done that, it would have been more noticeable. But
Right,
like,
yeah.
I was just like, whoa, like, 'cause I like looking at the games that I've never heard of, right? Like, yeah, sure, Metal Gear Solid and, you know, like Final
Metal
Fantasy
Gear.
and stuff. It's like, yeah, everybody knows those. I want to find and stream weird shit from the olden days. And I was like, I've never heard of this game. And I picked it up, and it was like, it's a From Software RPG. And I was like, oh, ooh. Pre-Miyazaki, pre-Demon Souls,
Wow.
published by Ubisoft. And then
This is like when you come across like the game Oni and you're thinking, holy crap, it's Rockstar and Bungie and they did a game together. This was to be the greatest game of all time.
oh, I'm
And then you
fully
get to it, it's
aware,
like,
yeah,
oh.
this game is going to be bad. It's going to be terrible. It has to be.
Yeah.
There was another game on the shelf, Area 51, and it's like I picked up the box. On the front of the box, literally, there's a review quote from IGN saying this is the best. This is PS2's best shooter ever, and I was like, I mean, that tagline is a stream setup in and of itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I have to play this to see
Yeah,
if it's
they put the
PS2's best
title of
shooter.
the stream in for you. That's it. They're doing your work.
IGN, man. What are you doing? I assume that's the review. It's probably like taken out of context. They probably mentioned
yeah, it's
somewhere
half a
like
sentence, absolutely, yeah,
Killzone was PS2's best shooter, and they've just cut out the Killzone part. But while I was at the shopping center, like I was looking, I caught a glimpse of a poster, and like I think my shopping center has a subscription service.
Wow.
Like there's like it's got this parking plus thing, and it's like a thing you can get where you can park longer.
Right.
And I didn't look it up because the website was really bad to navigate. And like you go on the website for the shopping center, and it's just a bunch of different squares,
Right,
like
yeah.
shops and food and cinema. There's only one cinema. I don't know why the cinema thing needs a button on its own, but I couldn't find parking plus, and I was like, just are we so overloaded with subscription services in the modern day that my shopping center has one now?
That's it.
Good God. Like, I was only going to buy some hair dye, and they didn't even have it.
Oh, no. But at least you had a wonder.
I died a bit of a wonder, yeah. Then I had a long nap. I dreamt I was gonna... I didn't dream I was eating KFC. I dreamt that I was getting ready to go and get KFC. So when I woke up, I was very
Ooh, okay.
disappointed. Because I was not going to go and get KFC.
That you couldn't be bothered to go and get it? Or...
Several reasons. The nearest KFC is 6 miles away. I don't have a car. The buses don't go there. I can't afford it. There's a whole
A lot of things.
Yeah,
A lot of
whole
reasons.
like list. Yeah.
Pick a reason, any reason, all of them are
I'd
good.
give you an ordered top 10 list, but I'm currently using all of my listing energy for Resident Evil and associated Resident Evil media.
Hell yes. Speaking of, yeah,
That was a
You go, so
segue.
it was smooth segues in the house again. Once, so we at the Words About Games podcast, we are doing a charity thing with the fine folks over at Special Effect. And if you didn't know, Special Effect are a charity that transforms the lives of people with physical challenges right across the world through the innovative use of technology. They're enabling inclusion and enjoyment by helping people unlock the magic of video games to the best of their abilities. They bring a communication, independence, and hope for people in intensive care units with severe injuries, and they're using telepresent robots to reconnect medically isolated children with their education and friends. We are putting together a series of charity streams associated with different milestones. So we have a target to raise £300. Due to the fantastic support of our amazing friends, we are already at our first milestone. So let's give everybody a cheeky little rundown of what's in store. So the first milestone of £50, which we've hit this week, is Amy ranks Resident Evil.
I regret some stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
What this entails: video games, movies, novels, manga, animation, games that aren't even Resident Evil. Who knows? We'll have to tune in and find out. But it promises to be a truly unhinged stream, which Amy has zero anxiety about whatsoever. No,
I don't
never
know.
heard of
It's
that.
not that I have anxiety about it. It's like, look, I'll tell you my opinion on anything, but man, like,
Yeah.
if Resident Evil fans, be prepared for disappointment. That's all I'm saying.
They're gonna come at you with the pitchforks and they go, "Matalo!" As they creep towards you slowly.
Yeah, basically.
The thing is about it, if we lose contact with Amy for a while afterwards, we know why.
Yeah, that's it.
Someone who likes Resident Evil but doesn't understand it will have found me.
It might be next
At
week for all we know after the saying that.
The next milestone sits at £100 when Moody will play Halo Reach. The blood for this one. Remember the last time we did Charity Marathon? We played through Halo Master Chief Collection and Moody had a less than good time. Turns out he didn't like Halo games. So for our new Charity Marathon, we absolutely had to convince him to return to the Halo franchise for one last ride.
That was good. Who
so
wrote that?
We were meant to play this one, we just never got around to it.
Wasn't in the
Now
Master
we got
Chief
me to
Collection.
join in with the fun, so it's all good as well.
It was 2020. The Master Chief Collection didn't have as many games in it as it does now.
But yeah,
Also, the fact that Master Chief's not in it, so which makes perfect sense. That it's not in the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, and then £150. It's legally distinct 90s game shows. So this is one of my concoctions. So we are going to pit Amy and Moody against each other in a trivia contest to end all contests. Even though there's another trivia contest coming on after this, but for the joke, it's there. Yeah, they don't have an idea of what I'm cooking up, but it's all gonna be fun of shenanigans. I can promise that much.
I don't know, like, because when I think, 90s game shows, well, I was a kid in the 90s. So when I was watching, like, game shows in the 90s, it was things like Funhouse. So I'm just expecting you to somehow dunk me in slime.
Oh, yeah. Have you not noticed the go-kart track I've been building inside your house?
I did wonder about that, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Everybody's really annoyed. Like,
Yeah. I went to a talent agency to get some twins.
Excellent.
Count stuff.
I was thinking it was going to be like Wheel of Fortune or catchphrase or something like that.
I've got a few weeks to grow out the mullet so I can get a
Nightmare.
bat shop going.
Can we do Nightmare?
Yes. Maybe put a bucket over your head. Will.
Oh, even though it's not 90s, it's good deal or no deal. Why the hell not?
If I booted up Skyrim and put a bucket on my head, we could probably do Nightmare.
Yes. Friends, if you have no idea what Nightmare is, it may have only aired in the UK.
It's all
but
on YouTube.
I implore you to go find it on YouTube because it is amazing. And
Nightmare.
every kid wanted to be on that show.
Nightmare with a K.
Yes.
It's all on YouTube. It's incredible.
That leads us nicely at £200. It's another one of mine. It's time for Video Game Vitz. So this is a trivia show all focused around video games and trivia about them, loosely based off Jeopardy. But lawyers, if you're out there, you didn't hear that part. So not only are we going to have the venerable Amy and Moody, we are lining up some very special guests to come join us. So to join in with the shenanigans and have a grand old time. So I'm going to be reaching out to them in the due course to get specialist subjects from them. So we can have essentially some bonus rounds where they'll have the opportunity to rank up a whole bank of points against their fellow competitors. And it's going to be a fun old time. This is something that I've done on personal streams in the past, and it's gone really, really well. And I'm really looking forward to doing this. So much so that I got ahead of myself and made a cheeky little video intro for it this week, which I really, really enjoyed. So yeah, please help us get to this target.
Question about specialist subjects. Can I choose a specialist subject of a thing that I'm researching at the time that we do the video game quiz?
Absolutely. It's your specialist subject.
It will be in the moment. My specialist subject.
So long as it's tangentially related to video games, and that could.
Vitz, I'll do you one better. It might actually just be a video game.
Brilliant. There you go. So yeah, for those
might be
who
free
are
video
wanting
games.
to get on board, start thinking about your specialist subjects, and as I say, will be reached out for you in due course. After that, at £250, Amy plays a mystery game. Amy's going to play a game. What game? It's a secret, but it's a good secret, and it'll be a good stream. She absolutely promises.
Good secret for whom?
Yeah. And a final milestone at £300, we will be doing a 10-hour live stream. So once we hit our goal, we'll schedule an all-day 10-hour live stream to celebrate reaching our total and try and see just how much further we can go. Also shenanigans. Plenty of shenanigans. So that, my friends, is what we have cooking with the fine folks at Special Effects. So if you're able to, there's a Just Giving link in the description of the podcast, wherever you happen to be watching or listening. So if you're inclined, do please donate. And if you're unable to at this moment, then please share it amongst your friends and family and anybody that you know. Sharing can often do just as good as donating because it puts it in front of the eyeballs of people who may be in a position to donate.
Yeah, man. Make more people. More people need to make Moody play Halo. Make Moody play Halo. Halo, Halo, Halo.
Exactly.
That was all right.
You can see by the stunned silence of the man. He's enthused.
Nope. Not engaging.
Should put it at a higher tier.
What if we
clearly.
mod in the ability to play as Beyonce in the game?
Can we do that?
No, I just wanted to see if I can get a reaction out of him at this point.
Not a big fan of her. So
if Master Chief isn't in the game, this game has to be about Beyonce, right? That's a whole premise, but never mind.
Question: Can we make Moody's specialist subject Halo?
Yes.
You played almost all
other
of them.
people's specialist subjects.
Everybody who's not me and Moody gets to pick their own specialist subject, but me and Moody get to pick specialist subjects for each other.
Yes, I love that idea.
no, I don't like that idea.
Oh, it's been vetoed, I'm afraid.
Oh, boo. Now I'm going to embarrass myself by forgetting everything about my specialist subject. I'll be like, yeah, I know everything about this. And then Vitz will ask me like this really basic question, and I'll just be like,
Yeah.
pass.
Maybe the question is for you.
Damn it. Are you sure it's for me?
It doesn't sound like
check
it's
your
for
sheet
me.
one more time. Yeah.
That doesn't sound like something I would say.
Yeah. Special subject? No, that's not
No,
mine.
that's not my
somebody else's.
specialist subject. I've never played.
Yeah,
I've never
you
played
screwed
Dark
this up,
Souls.
Vitz.
What are you
How dare
talking
you?
about?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Ask me a Gran Turismo question. I'll get that.
Yeah.
Right back.
When has the game been fixed?
Never.
You get 500 points for that one, my friend.
Oh, where do you want to go first? Now we've done the good bit, the bit where we talk about the positivity that we're spreading into the world. Well, let's talk about the rest of the stuff.
I was curious by this one that you put in. Sony mulling Paramount buyout reports. I was curious why you put this one on.
I don't know. It was in the Discord. Look, right. It was in the Discord. It goes in the document.
Yeah.
What was it in the podcast?
It must have been.
Was it?
I think so. I think that's I remember seeing it.
Maybe I was meant to post it in the other one and I didn't, and I just put the thing in. I just click the links and I copy and I paste, and
All right, that's
you know,
fair.
a report from the New York Times and Bloomberg, i.e., not Jeff Grubb's podcast. Legitimate
Every week the
sources.
man catches strays.
Well, every week he has a podcast.
This is true.
That's true. He does.
I heard from my friend, who's a janitor at Capcom, that Resident Evil 9 is going to be a battle royale. I don't know if that's how he talks. I don't know if I've ever actually heard him speak out loud, but
He does not sound like that now.
okay, no, fair enough. I'll try again next week. Yeah, Sony by Paramount. Oh,
I'm mulling it over, apparently.
apparently not Square Enix.
Yeah. I still think that'll go through. But no, I don't think this will go through at all.
I can see why they're taking a look into this, because as the article states, notably Sony lacks a major streaming service at the moment, and if they want to go and explore every avenue for getting more money out of people, then maybe this might be a play. And to be fair, Paramount does have some IP which is going for it. Notably for our interest, one of them being Star Trek. And
we're crossing wires here. I apologize. I thought you finished.
Go for it.
No, you finished, sir. Go.
No, Star Trek would be the IP that speaks to me most out of their lineup. Obviously, they have Mission Impossible. As far as I understand, the last movie wasn't as well received as some of their highlights of the roster, but I'm sure that'll be a franchise that they dip back in and out of. And yeah, it's a random side effect because the Halo TV show was Paramount production. That if Sony was to buy that, then technically they would own the Halo.
Halo's going to be on
TV
PlayStation 5 soon.
Yes, there you go.
I should have read this article all the way through before I posted it. Notably, Sony lacks a major streaming service.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, Crunchyroll's pretty big. It's a pretty big deal. Lots of people subscribe to Crunchyroll. Just throw them out there.
Eurogamer not looking at their sources properly, or facts.
I bet Eurogamer did a story about that. Hold on.
Probably. Oh, they would have.
Mm-hmm.
They would. I bet they talked about it when they did a story when Sony announced the closing Funimation and moving it all over to Crunchyroll. So I bet they did. But no, they don't need a streaming service whatsoever. Like for like their wider stuff that's not
neither Paramount.
Yeah, neither to Paramount either. Like Sony are doing perfectly fine. They've got an agreement with Netflix where they're putting films on Netflix and everything, where that's bringing them in a ton of money. They've got an agreement with Disney as well because the Spider-Mans are all on Disney Plus. That's bringing them in money.
And with Amazon Prime.
And Amazon Prime, yeah, they've got for me, it's just best just to wheel and deal and put it all on through all of the sites and everything like that. Heck, fucking, if you want to negotiate with Apple, throw it on Apple for all I care. I don't give a flying hoot, really. Like right now, having a streaming site is not a thing that's really doing really well for a lot of people. Like, the only one who's really been successful at is Netflix, and that's just because they were ahead of the curve, basically 10 years ahead of everybody, and then everyone jumped on the bandwagon, and then the pandemic happened, thinking everyone was going to love it, and then...
Guys, remember cable? We had no problems with cable. We just do cable again.
Yeah, we just merge all the services into one expensive subscription.
Everybody's pirating again. Why is that happening?
Yeah. It's So for me, Sony, they don't need this whatsoever, even though,
allegedly,
yes, Paramount have an incredible amount of IP there and everything like that. Just alone, yes, for us, Star Trek and everything, and I think we discussed behind off podcast last week or 2 weeks ago of this a Sony exclusive Star Trek game that is just mouthwatering in itself with how great they do story-based games and everything like that. It's yes, please give us that type of thing. But heck, you don't need to buy Paramount for that.
Yeah,
just make an agreement with
right?
the bastards. Just say, we have this awesome studio.
They've got no money.
This awesome IP. You've got no money as well, Paramount.
Yeah.
How about
I give you £2.50. You give me the Top Gun license.
Fuck that for £2.50. Fuck that. I think I've got more than that in my purse. I'll give you a tenner for it.
That's a KFC right there. That's your KFC money. Hold on to that line.
I'm buying Star Trek.
I'll buy Star Trek.
But yeah, it's an interesting idea and it's an interesting premise. There's no doubt about that. But for me, I don't think they don't need it, Sony, whatsoever. For me personally, they're doing really well either way. Yes, I know films can be mixed for a lot of people when it comes to Madam Web. Apparently, is an abomination. I haven't seen it. Morbius was apparently a funny abomination, but I still haven't seen it. But yet, it is what it is and whatnot. And they still pump out other things that are not their Marvel products. So
100%.
They're good. They're fine.
Yeah, and from the video game side of things, they have their PlayStation Productions arm as well, which has been involved in the Uncharted movie and the Gran Turismo movie and things like that. And they'll be at least the poster child for an upcoming God of War series and an upcoming Horizon series, that kind of thing. So, and who knows, maybe actually the Metal Gear project, which was on ice at the moment. That'll be a Konami joint, not necessarily Sony. But I think the point that we all reached when we were discussing this externally was that if this does happen, then it's just going to result in more layoffs, and that's the last thing that anybody needs right now.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. It's more layoffs and everything, which is with an industry that, not just in video game industry, but the entertainment industry in general. That's combining all of them basically. It's just in a complete vacuum of redundancies and layoffs and everything and whatnot, and it's just. I would hate to see that happen and everything like that. So it's like it's bad enough. Like heck. Even though I'm okay with the series is like finishing because not everything should go on forever. It's like they're canceling Discovery, they're canceling Lower Decks, they've cancelled. I will not know that. Yeah, that's Sony 2, I believe. Yes, I know they renewed Strange New Worlds and everything like that, but I don't think that's far behind from the cutting board either because I think it'll hit 5 seasons and they'll say boom, done.
Yeah, but like you want new ones. Like this is the thing. Like I don't know, we're straying into Star
Trek. But there are new ones that are apparently on the way. There are new ones on the way apparently. So
they don't have infinite money. So like if you want the new things to be made, like the one I see everyone talking about, Star Trek Legacy, which I would also very much like to be made, but that means that the old ones have to stop being made so they can use that money to pay for the new ones.
Yeah,
so that's how this all works.
That Enterprise
G.
We need to see that sweet ass ship again.
The ship that Mooney hated when he first saw it, and I said, "You're gonna love it by the end of the series."
I had loved it by episode
2,
or 3. I think it was when they flew out of the that field and Riker threw an asteroid.
Yeah,
I think that's episode 3 or 4. Either one. That was just But yeah, I'm a mark when it comes to ships.
Indeed.
I always am.
Ships, Pokemon, and Alien. That's Moody's entire personality.
As an aside. I was in Covent Garden with some friends over the weekend, and I was in their Forbidden Planet store, and they have Enterprise D, I want to say, hanging above their staircase. And I sent a picture to Moody, and he lost his goddamn mind.
Yeah, I looked at my wallet, literally. And
a moth flew out. One day.
I tipped it upside down, thinking it's something would fall
it's
out.
Like, it's like that Sega Saturn I saw a couple of weeks ago. You know, you look at it and you just go, "You will be mine." Oh yes, you will be mine. When he's just going to charge into London Forbidden Planet and just jump and rip it down and run out while shouting, "Make it so!"
Make it so! But the thing is, I bet the people who work in it will be like, I respect that.
There you go, yeah.
You make
Godspeed.
it so, sir. While dying Island 911. You can't miss him. He's literally running away with a Star Trek Enterprise.
Can't miss him. Look for the Enterprise.
If you run fast enough, it's bound to fly.
Dude. I'll be like that. Yeah. Beam me up, Scotty. Wrong ship. Either way. He was on that ship. He was on that ship.
That's why it's not working.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah.
All right. Let's move on.
Shall we carry on the Sony train and talk about a game that came out this week, Stellar Blade?
We have to.
Booty game.
Yeah, the booty game, absolutely.
Booty game.
So this is a story which came about when the review embargo lifted. So as you would imagine, plenty of reviewers got advanced copies of the game to playtest and give their critiques on. There's a particular section of the game end where an artwork asset has been used of the graffiti of the word hard, so HARD. And this is prevalent, as I understand it, in many different sections of the game. In one particular area where, from what I understand, 90% of traffic is going to go through in terms of when you're playing the game, this will be an area that you traverse kind of thing. It will be the position of this graffiti is next to a neon sign for a shop, which is referred to as an R shop. And when combined in this screenshot, which is, I don't think it's been, it's not been, there's no camera trickery to make the words line up in any way. It's pretty blatant kind of thing. It's as we were talking about before, it's a dog whistle for a particular nasty term. And it's one of these where Cellblade is developed by a Korean studio. And it's one of these where, okay, we could have a situation where culturally that's just not a thing over there, and it got missed and everything, but this would have gone through some sort of certification and the rest of it to get done, so it would have been picked up at some point. The good news is that it's getting patched out before launch. Sony has come through and said that the art referencing British language was unintentional, which is expected of them in terms of a statement, but yeah, it's a thing where we just need to be smarter about these things.
Smart is nothing. Okay, fair enough. It's a Korean game. Maybe they don't have get the whole reference, but like, you come closer. Not you two. You two already know all this stuff. Come closer. All that I'm talking to the gamergaters in the audience who definitely listen to this podcast because they get such an easy ride.
They love us.
That whole thing we've been arguing against. You know who would have caught this before launch? Sweet baby
DI people.
Yeah. Black girl gamers.
This is not
those consultancy firms that you think are ruining games. Like, yeah, they would have that. Their job is to catch things like this before the game comes out.
And Gamergate, this was your poster child game. This was the Moody game and the Moody game with all the jiggle physics.
Oh, I've already seen the videos. It's being censored by the woke video game because, like, let the racism run free.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
So
this is why we can't have nice things.
Well, at least the first time around, they were subtle about it. They tried to pretend that they weren't racist, whereas now they're just fully leaning into it. It's like, no, we're definitely racist. Yeah, well,
they're saying the quiet part out loud.
They're saying the loud part out loud as well.
That's true.
So this is just this is on my white privilege and everything like that on it. I didn't know this would be a racist term or anything like that. I hold my hand up to that. It's a lack of education and everything like that. But what you're saying and everything like that, I think it's the same for the Korean developer and everything like that. Just cultural, completely different, and they would not have realized that or anything like that. To go through the thing, what you said about certification, I can confirm right now there's no document to my knowledge, but I am not fluent in it right now. I'm still learning about it. There's nothing to stop this or anything like that. It's down to the Sony. Could throw them under the bus here. Basically, they will let a lot go. They do let a lot go when it comes to certain things, but as long as it's more
we've
like,
noticed.
Yeah. Good one. But so certification and everything like that, this I doubt would have been flagged. If it was flagged, it wouldn't have been flagged as this is a certification violation. So it wouldn't.
Yeah.
They might have flagged it saying it to them. This is something. So they may have flagged it, because it all depends on the team who they've got.
Sure, it's individual in their knowledge and education as well, right? Yeah, so
no doubt about that. So it's like it's a mixture of a lot of things. Of just like myself, I'm openly admitted, like I did not realize this was a racist term or anything like that. That's a lack of education on me. It's something I need to sort out and everything like that. And the same goes for like every other developer and whatnot. It's good to hear that they are sorting this as soon as possible and everything.
It's done. It's already done.
Yeah. It's already been patched. It's even better and everything like that. And that's fantastic to hear and everything like that. It's also like, for me, it's good. Like they held up the hand and like said, they did not realize we should have, like what you said, Amy, how this company who all the Gamergate woke bitches, whiny crybabies are complaining about seeing it. They probably would have caught this. They probably would have. Or one of the other consultants, I mean, there's no doubt about that. But
the Gamergaters are having a bad time of it right now. They had all their videos prepped for all of the woke journalists to give Stellar Blade bad reviews because it's got boobies in it, and all the woke game journalists loved it. They're having a tough time right now.
That's it.
Same thing. It's the same girls that went X-Men 97 for them. Oh, no.
X-Men was so good this week. That's another absolute banger of an episode.
No,
next week's apparently a hitter. I'm telling you right now. The directors come out and said Episode 8, that's like another gut punch. And I'm thinking, why are you doing this, dude?
It's called
But
good TV.
I turned us into a different tangent there, and I apologize.
But yeah, no, yeah, the Gamergaters are all over it. With Stellar Blade.
No, it's like
7 out of 10. Oh, the Wogarati strikes again.
Now I hear 7 out of 10 is a
Yes, did the Wokarati, do they drive Maseratis just because it rhymes?
No, it's like Illuminati, not Maserati.
I get that, but they need to get transport to go to and from their places, and I imagine they'll be paid off by people, so they can afford Maseratis.
If you go woke, you go broke, so no one can afford Maseratis. We're all woke. That's the problem. I mean, I'm also broke, but it's completely unrelated to my being woke.
I mean, guess what car you were driving on the Funhouse go-kart track?
I just showed you all the money I have. But yeah, it's been a week. Like, I'm just glad, and I know there's spoilers for OpenCritic out there. I'm just glad it didn't get 69 on OpenCritic because I didn't really want to quit the podcast, but I definitely would have.
400 episodes and the Amy's gone.
Fuck this. The video game industry is a parody of itself. I'm done.
There you go.
I'm out, bitches. Yeah, no, it's good that they changed it. It's so excited I had to be caught by, I'm assuming, a game reviewer.
Yeah, and there was a few of them. So then, but what I did wanted to just say is that this is an education piece going forwards, kind of thing. So for those who aren't aware, so this is a synonym for essentially the N word, predominantly used, or this particular term which appeared or is no longer appearing in Stellar Blade, is more prevalently used in the United States. But again, it just serves as another educational piece. So now we know if we see those collection of letters going forwards and things, that we know it's another thing to look out for.
It's true.
Basically, I need to type in, which I really don't want to.
Don't do that. Just follow. Just whatever you're about to say. The answer is just follow more black people on social media. That's how I knew about this being a thing.
I don't really keep an eye on social media. That's the thing about it. I saw this through the Kind of Funny thing yesterday or 2 days ago or whatever. So yeah, I didn't really. Yeah. I'd like to say, but yeah, it is a lack of education. There's no doubt about that for the most of it. But it's good it's been caught.
No, sorry, I don't mean follow social media to see all of the racisms and whatnot. I mean just for like education pieces because that's where I first encountered the term, not this.
Yeah. Oh, heck, go on, Nebula. Nebula, I've seen some amazing things of late, which has just been great things. So I watched that piece of what you where you said, Amy, I recognize that road or that street.
Yeah, from Leonardo DiCaprio.
Tube. Yeah. So good. She is
Philosophy Tube's one of the best things. We should do like a whole watch this stuff one day. It's like here's all the YouTube channels that you should watch on Nebula.
I mean, Vitz have been doing that for the last 2 weeks. 4 weeks, but it's not been.
No, I said YouTube,
channels.
not X-Men.
It's shows.
It's not even been shows. It's just been X-Men.
But X-Men is. I'm saying this without any hyperbole or anything like that. It is the greatest thing.
I've seen the clips and I've heard the things. I'm looking forward to watching it when it's all coming out. But we're talking about YouTube education here. YouTube can be an education. It can be a better education than your school. I've learned more about the Nazis from real life, but also from YouTube that I ever did in school, and they literally supposedly taught me about all the stuff about the Nazis.
Yeah, but it comes through a filter curriculum.
Did you know World War II? Did you know World War II didn't start in D-Day? My school didn't teach me that part.
Wait, what?
Crazy, right? It was like a whole there was like a whole 5 years before that. The Nazis didn't just appear out of thin air on the beaches of Normandy, like in Battle of Honor.
Let's swift from the blue side to the green side. To Bethesda has remembered Starfield exists and is probably more soon. So I'm guessing June.
I mean, they reckon their expansion is going to come out by the end of the year, but I mean, I don't think so.
Not a shot.
I don't think they want it to be as busted up as the game was apparently when it came out. I bet they're kicking themselves for not making Fallout.
Who would have thought?
Everybody would buy a new Fallout right now.
Yeah, after the success of Last of Us, the HBO show, and how Naughty Dog thought, you know what? Naughty Dog, I'm guessing the powers that be at Sony thought, you know what? If this pops off like we expect it to, we should have a game that people have to say, I'm in a Last of Us mood. What should I play? Oh, here's Last of Us, and here's a new version on the shiny PS5 and all the rest of it. But Bethesda thought, it's fine.
No, it's fine. Like, it's going to be what? Skyrim 2 was in development since last year. So that'll be 8 years from. So it's going to be it's fine. There's going to be a new Fallout game in 16 years. That'll be played there. People will still be hyped for Fallout. An entire generation will have gone by between Fallout games, but I'm sure.
As of the time of recording, Fallout 4's next gen patch has indeed gone live. So folks can download that. I'm not saying it's a solution. I'm just saying
it's not. Fallout 4 is the worst Fallout game, but you've got to think Phil Spencer's got to be in his little office, sitting in his hot tub. I assume he has a hot tub in his office, because if I was like a rich CEO, I'd have a hot tub in my office. Like on the phone to every studio he owns, going, "Do you want to make a Fallout game?" Like, surely to God, like, he can't be sitting there going, "Yeah, Fallout's like more popular than it has ever been thanks to this TV show. The TV show's not going anywhere. There's going to be at least a season 2." Yeah. So like, he's got to be on the phone being like, "Someone's got to make a fucking Fallout game. I can't wait until the 2040s for the next one of these."
There's no doubt about you would hope for the Fallout fans out there that they've already planned ahead and they've already got development onto a Fallout game and whatnot for us, and it could be here like within, say, the next 2 or 3 years and whatnot, depending on when they start, obviously. But it's they will miss a massive open goal here if they don't have a Fallout game coming out at least within the next 4 years. And whatnot, because like theoretically, if they do it right, like Fallout, they could be on season 3 by then. When it comes so it'd be perfect timing to release a new one for it. So yeah. But they also obviously showed that they did see the foresight of like, okay, we've got a show coming out, let's update the old ones that we have and everything like that to at least next gen and whatnot. And apparently it's going down really well. Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 and whatnot. It's like
all of them,
broken numbers and everything.
It's great.
Yeah, so like which is fantastic to hear for people who love the Fallout franchise. I'm really happy for them and everything.
So many people are playing Fallout for the first time and being like, "This is amazing. Who knew?" And I'm sitting here going, "I knew."
You only
Listen
like
to
game.
me. I like 3 games. All right, look, 1 and 2 exist. Okay, people don't like to remember that they exist, but they exist.
Just like the Nazis sprouted on D-Day, Fallout began with Fallout 3. Everybody knows this.
Hoist by my own joke.
But to the Starfield fans out there, I kind of do feel for you guys a little bit to it. Like, you were so excited for this game, knowing it was going to get 7 out of 10s and everything, and was just guaranteed by the woke society out there and whatnot. And like, Jesus, the man baby who went crazy just for pronouns. Jesus, I bet he played it so hard after that and everything. But
he did.
There you go.
He did.
Yeah,
he continued to stream it. Like for many hours.
Yeah, big baby. But no, I do feel for the fans like who are fans of Starfield, because like they're just thinking, are we getting left behind and everything, whatnot? And it's just like, it's not your
yeah, but
it's not your. Go on.
I get where you're coming from. Where you're like, as much as I'm joking on and stuff, it must suck if you like Starfield, because like the hype for this game, like before they even revealed it, like everybody knew Bethesda was making a space game, like before they even revealed it, and we talked about it multiple times on this podcast, because we've been around a long time. Hint, 400
You made us
episodes.
sound 50 years old there, or even older. You made us sound ancient there.
Well, you guys haven't been here as long as I. Back in my day, we didn't even know Horizon was called Horizon. We just knew they were making a robot dinosaur game. True story. But
was isometric.
we were like, oh, they're making a first-person shooter that's not Killzone. How quaint. But no, Starfield. They're looking forward to Starfield for so long. Starfield comes out, they get it, they play it, they enjoy it. Good for them. I don't get it, but I never have. It's not my cup of tea. But then, immediately, it's like the discourse swings to people don't like it. Like it's. Well, for a variety of reasons I'm not going to get into because that's not the point. And then as soon as that discourse dies down, the Fallout TV show comes out and everybody's losing their fucking mind over Fallout. And it is just like Starfield came and went and no one thinks about it anymore.
Yep.
Yeah. There's no doubt about they will have stuff coming for the game and everything like that. I agree that I don't believe whatever expansion that they have coming for it will be this year. Smart bet would be to delay it till next year or something like that for me personally. But no, it's I do feel for the fans, but yeah, at the end of the day, you should have screamed the hell out to saying it was a good game because apparently it ain't. So, but I haven't played it. I can't comment on it. I'm only going off the discourse and everything like that. But our own Vitz Patel, he's played it.
He did.
He loved it.
He did.
He's in top 10 of the year. Somewhere.
games.
It was in someone's top 10 of the year.
It was at my default.
He didn't even bring it up in the list in the Game of the Year talk.
Oh, but Greg Miller did, people. The PlayStation Pony, Sony Pony did, and
He put it as number one, yeah.
I know, I couldn't believe that when I saw that. But no, again, I haven't played it. It just made me laugh. It made me laugh that when he did that, just how he was teasing.
But yeah,
can't remember their names.
This is all this is for me is just another cautionary tale of don't believe a word that Todd Howard says. Until it's a real in your hand.
It just works. Howard can sometimes tell fibs. My God,
the man who told me just upgrade your PC. Starfield, get fucked.
The man who was like, yeah, we knew it was going to have some Fallout 76 was going to have wasn't going to be a high Metacritic score, but it's not about where you start, it's about where you end up. It's like, fuck off, Todd. You were on that stage for 30 minutes telling me about how amazing Fallout 76 was and how it just worked.
14,000 times better.
Neither of those things were true. And, maybe it's just turned it around in the 6 years since it came out. I wouldn't know. I played it when it first came out. The whole fucking world slowly turned black and white, one asset at a time.
You're going to get one shot to make a first impression. And you screwed it up, Mr. Howard.
They knew how to sell me on a controller.
That is a nice controller.
Yeah.
And a headset.
Yeah. Oh, you got the headset as well.
Yeah, I got the headset as well, yeah. Which is just there to be decorative. At all.
Yeah, because it's pretty.
Because you never play on your Xbox anymore.
Pretty. They're pretty. I don't really.
Neither do I.
Well, he has to keep. There's always an update.
2 games on Game Pass. I downloaded the game that came out last week, the Play-Doh one or stop motion one.
Harold Halibut.
I downloaded that and I downloaded another one.
Yeah.
I haven't even touched them.
No, I know. So I've got the Xbox app on my phone. And it gives me notifications when people who are in my favorites come online, I guess. And I guess you're in my favorites.
I'm not your favorites.
Vitz also is, but he's never going to set a notification off because he's always setting it offline. But you came up. I was looking at my phone and it came up and it was like, such and such. I'm not going to dox your fucking Xbox handle. Such and such is online. And I was like, holy shit. Is he okay? Did he turn the wrong console on?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I wonder what he's playing. And I just looked and it said home. And I was like, he hasn't started playing anything yet. And then I think I looked half an hour later and I was like, home. And I was like, he's not playing anything. He has turned his console on by accident.
No, I didn't.
Dora ran into it and just hit the power button, turned it on.
She climbed up my table and landed on it. Yeah,
that's
it. No, what's so funny about it was the worst thing was that I didn't expect how long it would take that stop motion game to install. It took forever.
Huge, right?
I know it's huge. Yeah. I can understand why. I really do, and everything for what they did and how they made that game. But I was like, "Fucking hell, man, hurry up!" And then I was just like, I had the urge, and I was thinking, downloaded in an hour or something like that.
I know, right?
Nah, 7 hours later, and I was thinking, what the fuck? I know I don't have the greatest internet sometimes. I can appreciate that, but I'm just like, what the fuck?
And that urge can just disappear, right?
Yeah, I was on my PlayStation, I think, by the end.
Yeah, because after I finished, because it happened to me not that long ago, after I finished playing, I think it might have been Final Fantasy VII, I don't know, it might have been bilateral. Anyway, after I was finished playing a game, and I was like, what do I want to play next? I'll try loading the dock. I've got the disc, and I put the disc in, and it didn't install immediately. So it installed the game. I left to do other things. I came back, and I was like, nah, I don't fancy it anymore.
That's it. They got to catch you in the moment, right?
Like, you know, I take Metal Gear Solid 2 out of its PS2 case, I put it in my PS2, boom, playing the game within like 20 seconds.
There you go.
Alone in the dark, nah, I gotta wait like a few hours. Why? I have a disc. Oh, but it's got to install on a hard drive. Counterpoint. Why?
You have the data right there off the disc.
The disc is in the drive. But yeah, installation times, they're a right mood killer. Let's do an early halftime.
Yeah.
We could try and squeeze one more thing in there, but let's just do an early halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Give the second half of the show some room to breathe.
It's going to be so sweet.
Why are you saying squeeze so many times? Stop it.
I don't
It's making me uncomfortable.
Squeeze it in.
Oh, no.
400 episodes, everybody. It's halftime, which means it's time for Indie Game of the Week. This is something we do every week where I talk about a cool-looking upcoming indie game that I have on a big list of in my phone because I can't use Twitter for discovering indie games anymore. This week's Indie Game of the Week is called Sunset Hills. It's not Micro Machines again, but it looks really nice. It's a pointing...
Sorry, I did see a Micro Machines-esque game called Octo Race that I was gonna send through and submit for this, but we'll pick it up in a future week. But it's more an isometric view rather than just top-down view. But I'll send you all that stuff. You triggered a core memory in the brain.
Click puzzle game where you play as a dog and you're on a train at some point. And you call Nico, who experiences a variety of people and events and meets his comrades who go through fire and water together during the war. And he's also a writer, and he's like going through all these different countries and cities and stuff. And it's like, looks very wholesome and very nice. Looks like a cartoon. A nice
Yeah,
cartoon.
it looks actually really kind of. I've just had a look at the trailer and I'm just like, oh, looks really chill and everything. And there's nothing wrong with chill games out there and whatnot. So yeah, I agree with you there.
Solve puzzles, play as a dog. What more is there to say?
There you go.
Also, Vitz, shout out to that Inside Out thing you threw out there. Core memory, loved it.
Oh yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, was all on that.
Mm-hmm. My heart still bleeds for Bing Bong.
Go click on the Steam store link in the description wherever you choose to get this podcast. Watch the trailer, look at the screenshots, read the store description. I apologize to the developers of Sunset Hills.
I apologize too.
400 episodes, baby. And yeah, wishlist the game most importantly because that helps the developers. The game apparently just got announced it's coming out this summer. So nice summertime vibes.
Nice.
For you.
When it's chill, that is when it's chill.
That is when it's at. That is when everything is at its chillest. I don't know if you've noticed, but it hasn't gotten any. It's the middle of spring and it hasn't gotten any warm around here.
Nope.
And so many people
are in the midst of April showers.
So many people are like, "Why isn't it getting warmer?" And I'm just like, "We've been talking about this for years.
It is, people. You just don't realize it
is just not here."
No, it was freaky. I went out, so I go out when I finish. When I go for a break, I leave the building.
Look at this man showing off.
Like that.
Getting breaks.
What do I get breaks? Yeah, I go for a walk and everything. I go to the shop and I was there. Go inside the shop. It was all dry and everything. When I was walking through, left the shop, start raining instantly. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, no, yeah.
And it wasn't just a normal rain. This was torrential fucking rain. I was like, what the fuck, man?
I had that. I started off today, like, because I said, I already told you I went to the shopping centre. I started out a day, like, with my hoodie, like, open, because it was not warm, but warm. You know what I mean? My sunglasses on, because it was, like, a nice, bright day. And then by the time I was coming home, it was hailstoning.
4 seasons in a day, baby.
You're
4
like,
seasons in a day.
hey, end times, baby. We had the horses running through London like yesterday, covered in blood.
Yeah.
Like Big Ben stopped. 4
We
seasons
all
in a
know
day.
London is when Bing Ben stops in London.
Has anyone checked on the Ravens at the Tower of London? Yeah, let's do a little halftime.
All right. See you in a sec, gamers.
Second. And we're back. We weren't talking about anything in the break there.
Nope.
Nothing at all.
We just sat in silence.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what?
I was gonna don't do it. I was gonna like ask if you wanted to talk about Dragon's Dogma for a bit, but while I was looking at my phone on the break, they just Tribeca Festival just announced their games for this year.
Ooh. Should we go through those?
Yes, because their games slap. Manny's like, who?
I know who you mean.
Oh, okay. you just had that look where you were like, oh, am I supposed to know this?
Yes, I remember it. It was, I think, arguably the best thing that was shown last year.
And the year before.
When you
And the year
watched it?
before that. Yeah, these
Shut up,
their
I
games slap.
realised I didn't know about them the year before that. Okay.
I know, it's fine. But you know now. That's the important thing. But yeah, I haven't even looked through this yet. So I'm just opened up the news story. Ooh, apparently they're hosting a making of Final Fantasy VII panel.
Ooh. From Fire to Faraga. Remaking Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. Okay. So they've got 7 games. A Ranger, a role-playing puzzle game adventure, role puzzling adventure.
Yep.
Was that at the Nintendo Direct?
I want to say yes.
There's been so many of these fucking showcases. It's hard to keep track. Blue Prince. That was an indie game of the week a couple of weeks ago.
It was.
That's the game, the Raw Fury game. The build the house as you go and do the thing. Yeah, dark web streamer, which I've also heard of. Good Night Universe, which is a new game. You take on the role of a 6-month-old baby developing psychic abilities, trying to evade capture from a corporation who wants to use you and your abilities for themselves.
Damn.
Everybody wants to read these days.
I'm sold. What a
And he's
fucking...
like, I'm getting used. I'm sold.
What? As a 6-month-old baby. I direct your attention to the first sentence I read.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back.
Oh, Never. You remember Never from the developers?
Yeah, I've got it on my fantasy league.
Who did Gree? Skate Story, the skateboarding adventure game. That's the one.
You're a
That's
demon in the underworld,
fancy
made out of
looking one.
glass and pain. That is a fire line right there. Made out of glass and pain.
Devolver Digital. Pretty sure. And the last one is called Thank Goodness You're Here, which is a... Oh, yeah, I saw this. We saw this at Gamescom last year. The
Yeah.
comedy slapformer, where you play a traveling salesman in an English town who has become saddled doing everyone's increasingly bizarre chores. Yeah, and From Fire to Faraga, remaking Final Fantasy VII, which will feature director of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Naoki Hamaguchi, and producer and game director of the original Final Fantasy VII, Yoshinori Kitase. Holy shit.
The one that came out on PS2, right?
Yeah, the one that came out on PS2. It looked like a game that was made in 2023.
Yeah.
Damn, I love Tribeca. It's great. My interest level in all of those games has risen because they're Tribeca selections, and Tribeca selections fucking slap. Vempo was a Tribeca selection.
Yeah, it was.
I'm trying to think of other ones. Thirsty Suitors, Chance of Sonar, Goodbye Volcano High, Norco, Signalis. Like, just so many games that I love. Like, it's like an automatic buy, almost. It's like, I remember this from Tribeca. Oh, it's already downloaded on my console. How did that happen? Nice. Those are 7 cool games. I look forward to learning more about them. I just got distracted by that on my lunch break from the podcast.
Nothing wrong with that. There you go. like I said, they do. The games are obviously always well renowned, and we're always interested in them. So it's like, yeah. And like I said, also it's like they arguably have the best conference each year. So
Yeah.
or showcase, whatever the hell they call them.
E3, or whatever we're going to colloquially
E3
call
thing
it, is going to be
not E3 thing.
It's going to be an interesting one for me this year because I'm already tired of showcases. Like, I've seen one every week.
You were
for
tired
the
on
past,
January
like,
the 1st of showcases.
I've seen one. I feel like I've seen one every week for the past fucking 4 months. Like, we're going to get to fucking summer and it's going to be like, whoa, it's time to see all the video games. It's like, you've showed me all the video games already.
Fuck off already.
Leave me alone.
Like, it's bad enough you got one on my fucking birthday, you twats.
Keely's trying to ruin my birthday. Bastard. All it's going to show is like Elden Ring DLC. That's his big thing.
And Kojima as well, because obviously he has to have Kojima there.
Well, yeah, but all Kojima's going to do is announce a new fucking podcast or something. Show off a new 20-minute trailer for Death Stranding 2. That makes any fucking sense. I beg you to stop using the subtitle, please. It's such a dumb fucking subtitle.
I agree with you.
I hate it. I hate it. Why are you doing this, Kojima? Yeah. So I'll say what I was gonna say when I hit unpause on the OBS after we came back and said, do you want to talk about Dragon's Dogma 2 for a minute?
Yes, please.
Cool. It's not my review because I haven't finished it, but I've played a good 18 to 20 hours of it in the past week. So I don't know if you just want to ask me some questions. I don't really want to do my this is my review because that bit me in the arse a little bit with Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. So what's kind of onboarding process like? So in terms of
awful. Dragon's Dogma 2 has got it. I've got to commend the developers. They definitely had a vision. And it's given me a lot of pushback. I know people have talked about the inconveniences and the stuff, and it is very single-minded. Like, someone was like, we're going to make this game and it's going to have this stuff in it, and nobody told them no, which I love, because it's got very specific weird quirks. But one of those very specific weird quirks is it's hard to get into at first. All the the controls on PS5 suck.
Can you
awful.
remap them?
Yes. Thank fucking Christ. The game doesn't have... It's a third-person action RPG. It doesn't have lock-on, which I'm fine with. Because, I like Souls games. I rarely use the lock-on in those games. Yeah. But I'm successful in doing that because I don't have to take my thumb off of the camera to attack. Whereas in Dragon's Dogma 2, all of the attack buttons are on the face. So I was like, you're not giving me the option to lock on. And I have to keep letting go of the camera to swing my sword. So I remapped all the buttons. And then I found myself having a much better time. And then the game updated and was like, hey, we changed all your buttons back. And I was like, fuck, man.
Maybe you were having too much fun with the other control scheme you did, so
this isn't a game where you're allowed to have fun. No, actually, it is a really fun game. But yeah, no, you have to sort of meet the game halfway and go, okay, this is what this game is like. I have to get used to this. If I want to... And what it's worth doing. For me, it's worth doing. When me and Moody were talking about it a while ago, when it first came out, and we both said, "Oh, I've heard so much about this game," and Moody was like, "It sounds awful," and I was like, "Actually, sounds awesome," because we're very different gamers. Whereas I'm playing it, I'm like, Moody wouldn't like this. I'm like, this is great, and I've heard people compare it to Elden Ring. No, it's nothing like Elden Ring. It looks a bit like Elden Ring, but my first point of comparison was Tears of the Kingdom, but very specifically, I made a video last year about how much fun it was to just wander around Tears of the Kingdom and get lost. That specific aspect of Tears of the Kingdom is what was reminding me of, not any of the other stuff. Sure. And then I was talking to somebody about it, and I was we were just talking about it, and I was like, and it suddenly clicked with me, like, the game this reminds me most of, if I was going to make a comparison, is Morrowind.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, it's like, this reminds me so much of Morrowind. It's crazy. Like, and I really liked Morrowind. It was the Elder Scrolls game that I actually really liked. And again, it's weird, awkward.
Yeah, this is pre-Oblivion, folks.
Yeah.
Like exactly.
But yeah,
So, have you had a chance to dabble with the pawn system?
Yeah, so
in
you have
terms
to
of getting
basically do that right from the jump if you don't want to die horribly. So you can have, like...
Are they... Sorry, are they all user-generated pawns, or do they have some preset ones if you don't necessarily have friends or people in your friends list who have the game who are making pawns?
So you just pick up pawns from anyone. So, like, anyone who's playing the game, like, their pawn gets uploaded to the pawn cloud. PAWN. Just for anyone who's listening, just hold down.
That's where Moody sat up.
Pawn? It's not that kind of game. But yeah, no, so, like, you'll just, like... So you make your own, and this one's like levels up with you, like as you go. So you have like one constant companion, and then you can have two others in your party, and you get them like you go to like Rift Stones and you visit the Rift, and it's like I'll have this pawn and this pawn because it's like a fighter which I need, or like a thief or whatever. And then like they don't level up, and you can't equip them with gear, so they come as they are equipped from somebody else's game. And then once they you over level to the point where it's like, well, this person's not really doing anything in a party anymore. You dismiss them back to their world and you give them a gift to take back to the player who you borrowed them from. And then like you just get another one at a higher level. But like you can meet them on the road and stuff. So like someone will just wander up to you and be like, hey, what's going on? Can I come with you? And you're like, yeah, sure, okay. Like you're better than this guy, so yeah, come on, let's go.
So random question. So if say you created a pawn, and much like Pokemon parents, at 10 years old, you strap a backpack on them, you say, get the fuck out of the house, go to a Riftstone and go to somebody else's game. If they die out there, they don't ever come back home?
No, yeah, they come back home. Like they can... So if a pawn dies, even if it's one of your party members or whatever, like you can resummon them like later.
Right, okay.
It's fine. Like when they're out doing stuff with other people, it's like the gimmick is like they do it while you're resting. But like you don't like leave your party to go to somebody else's. Like you still have
Fair enough. Has the main story got its hooks in you?
Nah,
Are you driven by that, or is it okay? Fine.
No. It's I don't know. There's this, the Dragon's Dogma is like you're the Arisen. This dragon fucking rips your heart out, and that makes you its arch nemesis. And like the whole world is revolving around like, well, there's always one Arisen and one dragon. and I'm like, all right, cool. It's weird. I like it because it's different. Felt like a fantasy setup, but then it's just like, but then you go and like, oh, you've lost your memories, and ooh, there's this other person who's pretending to be the Arisen, and like, ooh, they're like, you got to do all this political intrigue stuff, and I'm like, I don't care. I just want to go and whack things with my sword. Explore caves.
You want to bonk people on the head with your big sword.
Like,
that's it.
There's like this long string of quests where it's just like go to the castle and search through this person's desk to implicate them in a conspiracy, or like go to this and then go back to the castle and like free this person from prison. I'm just like, right, this is no, like the castle isn't where I want to be, man. Give me a quest to go all the way out here and get killed by a dragon.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, is there much else to do outside of like the quests and combat and stuff like that? Are there like social interactions you can do? Can you be a horny bard? Can you go around the land and bang anything that moves?
So there is a romance system I found out by accident while I was doing a bunch of quests.
Right.
For this one person, and that was fine, I guess. Like the quests were fun. Like they were like go do fun things as opposed to like go infiltrate the castle and find a note saying the Queen Regent's got to deal with these. I don't care, man. Like, but like, yeah, like there's not really a social element to it. It's like because your character, all of the like pawns in your party members are not party members; they're just tools almost.
Right.
Where it's like you bring them along, so you have like an archer or a mage and someone to heal you and stuff. And it's just like like they talk a lot. It's annoying. But it's also really useful where they'll be like, hey, there's a treasure chest over there. And you go, oh, there is a treasure chest over there. Cool. But sometimes it's just like, hey, did you notice that we're all women? Interesting. And it's like, you said that 30 times on this one road trip.
Yeah,
Diane,
you said that
can
voice
you just shut the
again
fuck
and again
up
and again.
about the fact that we're all women?
I recall seeing the clip that you sent us of the of how the environment just fucks with you in this game, or at least fucks with other people.
It fucks
It's
with
cool.
everybody. It's awesome. Like, yeah, so the clip I sent you was like fighting an ogre. Like, I was just wandering around the world. It was funny because right before that, all I was trying to do was go from like, I'd finished the quest and I was like, cool, I need to go back to town. I don't want to use a ferry stone. But also, like, there's this entire, like, road network that I haven't been down, so I'll go down there and see what's going on and, like, leave markers to come back to places. And I just found a hole in the ground where I was like, ooh, a hole. I'll have to remember to come back here and see what's in the hole. And I walked around the corner, and there was an ogre across. It was, like, across the bridge. And I crossed the bridge to fight it. And, like, I did the attack, where it's, like, the sweeping attack. It's meant to knock bigger enemies over, but, like, smash the bridge by accident. So when and the ogre like stumbled, but because it was on the edge of the drop, fell, and I thought, get in, I've knocked it over. What I didn't expect was for it to grab the other side and like try to hang on, and I was just like, what the fuck? This is amazing.
I just made an ogre bridge.
This game's sick. For stuff like that, the games were really fucking good. Like,
Yeah, I can see having or at least engineering lots of situations where people fall into, like, enemies will end up falling into water kind of thing, and then the tentacles will deal with them, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so there's like a gimmick with the water where it's like it's the brine or whatever it's called in it, where it's like if anything falls in the water, it gets killed basically.
Yeah.
It's good that they went, instead of just going, you can't swim for some reason, it's like, no, the water will fucking kill you. It's like, cool. But yeah, it's like you can like toss people into the water and stuff and they'll just die. But yeah, no, there's like big bosses that you knock out, like they'll start like going, oh shit, and then if you hit, and I just grabbed one's leg once and just pushed, and I managed to push it over a cliff, and I was just like, that's cool, man.
Hell yeah.
Stuff like that's cool. The fast travel, which is a controversy for some reason, I wanted to mention briefly. It's actually really interesting. So I found 2 towns with warp stones, which is like if you use a ferry stone and you go push and you can like teleport directly to them. And then there's another type of fast travel, which is ox carts, where it's like you can pay some dude and sit in the back of a cart and it takes you to a village that the ox cart is going to. But like and this is one of the reasons it reminds me of Morrowind. It's like you don't have to have been there to fast travel to it, because it's like, you know, I don't have to have been to town to get on a bus to go to town. That would be mental. So like it works in real world logic. So like I can go to a place that I've never been before just by sitting on the cart and paying the guy. But like it can get attacked part way and and destroyed if you're not careful. I had this one, like normally it's just like, oh, there's a couple of goblins, and you get up and you're like, fine, I'll fucking kill the goblins, and you kill the goblins, and then the cart starts moving again, and you get back on, and then you hit the button to doze off, and then you wake up in the town. But I had one last night where it all went to shit. Everything, like I got on in the day, cart's moving, doze off, wake up, it's night, right? It's night. That means we're under attack. And look, oh, it's a troll. I'm like, ooh, this is bigger than a goblin. This is going to be fun. And I'm fighting the troll. And I was like, where the fuck is everybody? Because like the Coxcot has guards. And I have my party. And everybody's there. And I'm like fighting. And it's like one other person with me. I'm like, this might be like fucking 10 people here. What the fuck's happening? And then I'm like, wait, what's that noise? And I like turned around. And like the troll was the scripted fight. But in the midst of this fight, a griffin had flown overhead, seen the commotion and gone, I'm going to get a piece of this. And just came straight down. So I'm fighting 2 boss monsters at once. And then all ahead was this horn. And I looked across, there's a bridge over a river, and a goblin camp was like, yeah, this looks like fun. And these goblins, and I'm just like, what is happening? So in the mayhem, awesome. Like the ox cart got obliterated, obviously. And it was such a cool fight. Like I was telling you about it actually. Like I mean, I knocked the griffin down. I was standing on top of it, stabbing it, and then it took off, and I was like, I'm still on it. Oh shit!
Yeah.
This isn't good. I
Please don't
can't
land in water.
fly.
Please don't land in water.
Ah! I'm just gonna keep stabbing it.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, when the ox cart broke, it was like, well, shit, I'm on foot. I'm like, well, guess I better keep moving then. And you just got to start walking. And I was like, on the one hand, I can see why that would be annoying, but on the other hand, I was like, man, it's just the dynamic nature of the world.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
This is exactly what I want out of video games. It's like all this weird, crazy shit happened that wouldn't have happened in any other game. Like Final Fantasy VII wouldn't have done that.
No, it wouldn't have done. No.
Yeah.
Did the ox make it or?
It ran away. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
right,
it was the only thing in there that was like, didn't look at the situation and go, this looks great. It was like, no, fuck this, I'm out of here. I respect
you're absolutely right. FS7 would never have done that.
Yeah, it's the surprise. It's like, going into caves, and most caves are just like short dungeons. Most of the caves that I'd experienced up to a certain point were just short dungeons with a few enemies and a treasure chest. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go in. There's a waterfall cave. I'll just go in this cave real quick and see what happens. And I was in there for an hour. I found 2 bosses, shitloads of treasure chests everywhere. And I was just like, it's that level of just like surprise where it's like, I can walk into a cave, jump down a hole, walk around a corner, and like something surprising could happen and it'll be great and I'll have a lot of fun with it. And I'm just like, man, not enough games do that kind of thing to me.
Absolutely. So I'd like to, when you were telling that story, all I could think of was a moment in Tears of the Kingdom where, like you said, we're going and we're just exploring across the hill and we come across 2 factions which are just minding their own business, but then you just set one little pebble off and then you just start to get the building, and then all of a sudden
like,
you've got these 2
God.
factions fighting each other, and then you go and like just picking up all the loot afterwards.
Oh yeah,
brilliant.
Well, it's like, campfires, like you can rest at camps and stuff, and it's like I was standing at one and it was getting dark, and I was like, shit, like when it gets dark, like the ghosts and zombies and stuff come out, and it's like you really want to rest. But also, it's D&D rules. Like, your camp can get attacked in the middle of the night. And it's more likely to happen if there's enemies nearby. So I was like, well, shit, I better go and see if there's any enemies nearby. And I just walked up the hill, and I didn't find this enemy. This enemy, a fucking ogre, just suddenly charged out of the tree line at me. It was like, well, I'm glad I fucking checked. but it was a scary moment of all of a sudden, like Jurassic Park, the trees started moving, and it just... And I was like, oh, shit. But yeah, awesome. That's sort of where I come in with like Tears of the Kingdom comparisons. It's like it's a very specific like part of Tears of the Kingdom. But if you really like that part, you might like this game. The combat's a bit awkward, but you kind of get used to it, and it's very specific. Like in a way that like Dark Souls is very specific. It's not nearly as hard as Dark Souls or unforgiving, but it is that sort of like you have to play the game the way the game wants, rather than push all the buttons and do stuff
and hope for the best.
Yeah, but that's
cool.
Cool.
That's awesome. Do you see yourself seeing the story through, or just exploring the game systems and kind of the emergent fights until you've had your fun kind of thing?
Well, the story is unlocking like new places to go. So like I'm gonna follow the story just because like, hey, go here, and I'm like, cool, I've never been here. Like, let's see what's over here. And that's kind of like where I'm at in terms of following the story.
Awesome. Great stuff. Moody, do you have any thoughts? Questions?
I couldn't afford to hire Asmongold's pawn.
Oh, so you could throw him into the water.
So I could throw him into the river.
Yes. I saw a clip going around on social of someone saying, oh, I found his pawn, and they're just yeeting him into the sea.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to do that, but it was like it's too expensive. If it was free, I mean, that's free content 100%. Right there. But
That's a YouTube short right there.
I've got your DEI right here.
Yes. Brilliant.
Yeah, I'll have a full review when I'm done, but it's a big game, so.
Hell yeah. Moody, does hearing all that tickle your fancy?
No. Right. I know enough about what like Moody likes in video games. It's like it's not his kind of game, and I would never recommend you play it.
Well, I look forward, nevertheless, to seeing the video clips that you send going forwards of just the crazy stuff that
I'll
happens.
try and remember to take some.
What do you think about it when it comes to Dragon Dogma 2 for me was that like I was very excited for it coming out and everything, but then obviously the whole thing happened with them teaming up with a person who's a complete dickhead. I just put me completely off it, and I just can't go back to it personally.
That's fair.
It's a bad taste in it, but then when it's like hearing what Amy's saying, it's just like, it screams out a game that this will not be for me whatsoever, and I don't want to make myself.
That's fine.
Suffer
That's
for no reason
completely
at
fine.
all.
Yeah.
Personally.
It's like we disagree more than we agree, but it's because a lot of what we're looking for out of games is different, and that's why I think it's really fun that we get to talk about them all the time.
Absolutely, yeah. Games are for everyone, and there's a game for everyone.
And I just like the fact that Moody saw a game that was popular and he knew he's not going to like it and didn't go, how dare they not make this game for me? Like, he's just like, no, I'm going to get the booty and boob game.
I've been burnt twice this year, I think, isn't it? Or whatever.
Yeah.
No.
Final
Fantasy 7 and... Wasn't there another one? I can't remember. But either way,
I'm fully expecting this game. Like, every long, large RPG I've had has had a disappointing ending. I'm expecting this game to disappoint me in the end, though. That's where I've been at. Like,
it'll be kind of comforting to get that, though.
It's like, there it is.
Yeah. I knew it. Speaking of things with disappointing endings, can I quickly touch on Gran Turismo 7?
It's coming. We knew it was coming.
So, friends, the latest
What's wrong
update
this
dropped.
time?
So 1.46 dropped, and with most things, it is another disappointing drop from GT7. And with most things, I am an eternal optimist, and for some reason, I come into every month saying this is going to be the month where they realize that the stuff we've been doing is absolute shit, and we should do better because there's so much potential in this game, but we're just pissing it away. But no. Okay, so this time, the mighty Czechs have come to the game with the brand Skoda. So there's a new Skoda concept car. There's the Ophelia concept, which is a collaboration between Sony and the Honda Motor Corporation for an electric sedan or saloon, depending on where you are in your part of the world, which is free in-game. So you don't have to pay any in-game credits for that. And then there's a Chevelle SS from 1976, I want to say. But the cars are one thing. The content they introduced in this monthly update that people have to wait a month for can be played in 15 minutes. For a game like Gran Turismo, that is simply not good enough. And I know I'm sounding like a broken record because we come here every month and we have a similar rant in terms of what the heck are you doing. Clifton Digital, Kazunori Yamauchi-san, I know you're listening. I know you're a big fan. Put me in there, coach. Just give me a month, and I can write you a race scenarios and a bunch of race events and the conditions of which we need to put them in terms of what the restrictions should be, which tracks we should go to, and all the rest of it. I'm not looking for new tracks. I'm not looking for new cars of you. The game is flush with content, but there's a tragic amount of content which isn't being used because you and your team have made the decisions to say, no, you know what? Don't worry about it. And you can say it's fine. We can do so much more with this platform, and it's just a crying shame. Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk. I'll be looking forward to seeing you again next month.
Have you considered not playing GT7 anymore?
I have, but the core gameplay is so fun. I just wish there was more of it to do. If there was another racing game out there which did the business for me, and maybe the Tiny Wheels game that we spoke about, when that lands, will scratch that itch for me. But up until now, until like Le Mans Ultimate drops, and we'll see if that scratches that itch in terms of sim racing that I can do primarily on my console, because that's where the TV is and whatnot. Yeah, until I find another thing that can scratch that itch, it is GT7 for me. So Forza is still broken, and I'm not willing to put my time into that experience when it's as broken as it is. Yeah, I know we had a conversation before about how I've not managed to jump into any other games because I was for a better term, and this is going to be a bit of an overshare, dear listeners, is that I was grieving for the loss of Aerith because it was the first time that this has happened with me on the sticks. So it just impacted me in a way that I wasn't expecting. I knew that was going to happen, and these things happen, kind of thing. But yeah, so GT7 has been the kind of comfort food which I go to because I'm fully immersed in the game and I know where it's going and what it can do. But yeah, if there's a brilliant racing game out there that I don't know about, feel free to put a note in the comments and I will check it out.
Okay, so in Yakuza Like a Dragon,
Yes.
if you go to the arcade, you can play Outrun on the arcade machines.
Yes, awesome.
And there's a mini game where you ride a bike around and collect cans.
Awesome. And is that I believe Super Hang-On's in that game as well, right?
Maybe, I don't know. I didn't play many of the arcade games.
Yeah. Super Hang-On is a game. So back in the day, I had a Sega Mega Drive, and I think it came with a packing game of Mega Games 1, and it came with Super Hang-On, it came with Football Italia 90, and Columns. We played the shit out of those games.
I'm looking it up. Yeah, that's what it says here.
Yeah.
Super Hang-On. Apparently there was a trophy for it in Yakuza 0.
Yeah,
Like
Super
Super
Hang-On was a
Hang-On
brilliant game.
specifically. Cool. Well, that's settled then.
There
You
you go.
can stop playing
Yakuza will be-
GT7 and start playing Yakuza Like a Dragon.
And my heart will mend.
Yeah, it will heal.
Yeah.
It will, just for the main character alone. He will heal your soul.
It's a healing game. It's a game for
It
healing.
really is. It really is.
There we go. Talking about the Fallout TV show, because I think we've finished it.
We did. We
I
both
say we.
finished it. Me and Moody
Yeah.
were texting each other because of
we did.
that
We
one
finished.
thing that happens right at the end where I was like, "Fucking, god damn it," which I'm not going to spoil, obviously, but it was just like, "God damn it." It's like they knew, Moody. It's like they knew they'd lost me. And I was like, I'm not that bothered by like watching season 2. Like, this was fine, but like it was really weirdly paced, and I don't think I'm gonna watch season 2. And then like the last shot happened, and I was like, motherfuckers! Well, now I'm gonna have to watch season 2 because
You
they're making
sons
it
of bitches,
for
you
me.
did it again.
Yeah, that was basically Amy. Yeah, no, it's no doubt about it. So obviously last week, like with me and Amy, like I was 7 episodes through. You were halfway through
I
the
was
series, I
halfway
believe.
through, yeah.
And we were like very mixed on it overall. I think like it was parts we enjoyed, there's parts we were just like, this ain't the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like everyone was screaming out to me. I stand by my instant even after finishing the show and everything. It's not the greatest thing sliced bread for me personally. I love that everyone's enjoying this and everything like that, and playing and going to the franchise and playing the game and everything, and hoping everyone's enjoying that experience as well. I still stand by to the part of this, like these are just overall boring characters who really, it's kind of when things finally start getting revealed, it's kind of like thrown at you for me personally. It's just like, oh shit, we've only got 8 episodes.
Oh no.
Throw everything at you and whatnot. It's like that episode in the first season of Picard where they're just like, we've only got 3 episodes left, guys. Nobody knows what's going on. Let's throw everything at you. And that's basically what they did on this.
Yeah.
What?
No, yeah, I'm agreeing. I'm just saying, like, you get to like episode 7, and it's like, oh, you want answers? Here's all of the answers, and it's just like, okay, now you've got a different kind of pacing problem than you had before. And then like episode 8, where it's like, it draws out some of the reveals, and you're just like, but I already know what the answer is. Like, it's not it. It's pretty obvious. Like, what's going on by this point? But they're still like, ooh, mysterious. And I'm just like, just drop the mystery act.
It's still just poorly paced. And as the characters, for me, because it's so poorly paced, it hurts the characters in the part of just like, they're very slow. And then the choices are just like really fast. And I'm just like, why? The characters are so disjointed of like, you don't know who to root for me. And it's just like, all of them are all uniquely annoying in their own unique ways, where it just makes me not want to root for them. Yes, you've got the cool one and the ghoul and everything like that. But he's only cool because he's going
like
yeah.
That. To be fair, that one bit in the last episode was badass as fuck, and it was shot really well. And I was just like, "That's fucking sick." Why wasn't the rest of the series like this?
Exactly.
Did they put all the budget in that last? Episode?
No, the opposite. The opposite. Most of it took place in the dark.
Okay, all right.
But like, yeah, it's just like moments like that are few and far between, and then it's like you get to the end and like the stuff that's happening, and like they're in this room for like 700 hours, and it's like there's supposedly like a big war going on outside, and it's just like this is the moment where there should have been some urgency, and there's no urgency. And then like you're right, it's just like I want to like the characters because like the performances are really good, and I do actually like Walton Goggins' character, but it's because he has more to do. And like,
yeah.
But like the other two, it's like their actors are really good, and I enjoy what they're trying to do. But like I don't know, like between like the stories not being like fleshed out, and then like all of a sudden like boom, there's like the vault that they go to like in episode 5 or whatever it is. It's just like, what was the point of that? Like I get that like they're doing the thing where it's like, you know, they're side quests in video games, but it's just like. It's a TV show. Like, I'm not in control of this moment. I don't want to go on a side quest right now. Like, I want the TV shows to be about the thing it's supposed to be about. Mm-hmm. And because it's a streaming service show, every story that they do has to end, like, before the end. Like, it's not like, oh, they visit this vault and that's one episode. It's like, no, they get to the vault halfway through an episode and then they have to have a cliffhanger. And because you have to like, and I'm like, why? All of your episodes are already up. And like, it's a style of storytelling just in general, like that's come along specifically with like streaming services that I don't really like very much, where it's like, oh, we're going to have the big cliffhanger instead of just like a Strange New Worlds type thing, or it's like you get the story in the episode and then the next episode is the next story. It's just like, I don't know.
But while also laying seeds for...
While also, like, sure. It's like there's a grander story. It's like...
They don't do that very well in this show and everything.
Personally, I think.
Yeah, for me personally, yeah.
But you're sold on coming back for season 2 then?
Well... You know,
Amy, yes,
we'll see when we
have to do it. Yeah. I'm
Amy has no choice.
I'm contractually and legally obligated to come back for season 2 now.
Can I guess what the thing is?
Well, okay, go over it. It is a massive spoiler. So if you're watching Fallout, you don't know anything about Fallout. Skip to the next time.
Okay,
just in case Vitz does nail it,
because he might. He knows me quite well.
Does it involve 2 words and one begins with N and one begins with V?
It does, yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, that's fine. We don't need to say anymore.
Last week when I was like, you know, everybody's arguing about which Fallout that you should play for your first Fallout if you've liked the TV show. And when I said that, like, you know, just pick whichever one you want. I hadn't seen the ending. I want to rescind that answer and say, you need to play a fucking New Vegas. You have to. What's funny is because it's such a weird reveal, like it's the last shot of the show, and Moody didn't know what was going on. He was just like, "That's weird."
I had no idea.
Like, what a weird place to end. And I was like, I texted him and I was like, "Have you finished?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, like that's New Vegas." And he was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And I was like, "I know, right?"
Yeah, I had no idea. But like, say I don't play the games or anything like that. So.
Yeah, which is why, like, I assume this was aimed at people who don't play the games as well. So that's why it's a really weird thing to end the entire season on. Because like loads of people are just going to be like, okay.
That's my.
So there's a question. Go on, Vitz. No,
I was going to say that's my takeaway when it comes to any adaptation is that this isn't made for people like us who play the games. That's why like things like the Uncharted movie is so drastically different from the games that we play. Obviously, there's themes and events which happen which can tangentially tie to the games and whatnot. That's why the Gran Turismo movie, which is awful in my opinion, but that's the direction that it took, and there'll be adaptations of those, and like the Last of Us took some different directions in terms of which way it went and fleshed out the story, even though that's probably one of the more faithful adaptations. And it's one of these where it's it's not for us. It's for the regular normal people out there, quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean, that's again, like, if they hadn't have put that moment as like the stinger of the series, like the season so far, I would have agreed. But like, no one who hasn't played that game isn't going to understand why that's an important moment.
Yeah,
because before that, they do really well with all the stuff that, like, I know because I've played the Fallout games. Like, there's a lot of talk about shady sands, and I know what that is. Like, I've played Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. But like they handle all of that in a way where it's like it's perfectly understand. It's like part of the story. It's perfectly understandable to Moody as well. I'm sure, like, you know, you don't need to know the history of Shady Sands to understand all this stuff because the relevant parts are explained. It's just when you get to like all it is just a shot and it's a guy looking down at New Vegas, and then the season ends and it's just like, what was that shot for?
So I'm guessing they didn't pan to like a sign which says "Welcome to New Vegas" or anything. All right, okay, fine.
No.
So it's only you do the Leo DiCaprio.
It's only people who know what it looks like going, oh, who've stared at it for hundreds of hours. Sorry for me. You were going to ask a question.
No, you don't have to apologize whatsoever. So my question is basically, so I've been having a little debate with a colleague of mine. So he says you don't need to have played the games to understand the show or anything like that. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, I mean, I always say
this is more at Amy. I know you haven't seen it, Vitz.
Yeah, like I always say, like, for me in a situation, it's impossible for me to be able to say like whether you need to or not because I have. So it's like I don't have that grasp of like, you know, like, again, like I go back to the Shady Sands part because it's in so much of it. It's not really a spoiler. It's like I've played the games. I know what Shady Sands is. Like, as soon as they mention the name, I'm like, oh, it's, you know. And then you see later on, you see the flag, and I'm like, hey, it's the guys from New Vegas. Like, you know, like,
yeah.
So like I understand it all, but like it did seem to do a good job of explaining. The only faction, and I don't know if it's my knowledge of the game's story that hurts it, but the Brotherhood of Steel are really badly explained in this show, like who they are, what they want, what they're doing. And then from my point of view of like having played 1, 2, and New Vegas, which this is this series is obviously a sequel to all those games. It's like, why are there so many of them? How are they still around?
That's the thing about it, where I've disagreed with them on the part of just like, you don't. It's poorly explained about what you just said there about that faction. It's very poorly explained about the main quote unquote villain of the beginning of the first episode. You don't see that person again until the final episode. Yeah. And they are a big thing and everything, but again, they're nonchalant until the final episode. And they are so not important to that episode, really. It's like, for me it's like, if I knew the games, but I think also it's like if I enjoyed the games, I probably would have clicked more with like the little Easter eggs and with these things and everything like that, and the knowledge of what you've just said and everything. But it's like, for me it's like, two of the factions were like from this show, because the third one's obviously the Vault one, we've just poorly explained. Vault one, I completely understand it, and I could see what was what.
Hey,
about
capitalism's going to kill us all. Great theme.
Yeah,
Love that
I won't
storyline.
lie. The theme of that, really, I thought that was really well done. That made me laugh. It made me giggle, and it also made me like say, okay, finally we're getting somewhere with a little bit of a character development where you're seeing why the ghoul is doing certain things and everything properly now. Because it took the worst thing is that it's more of the thing of like, it just took so long for characters to actually get any real development to make me go, might stick around with you and now and everything like that. And sadly, really, the ghoul's the only one who really gets it. Lucy gets some near the end
in the last episode.
But it's so like rushed, and I feel it's just I feel like it's just a lot of it's just we've thrown you a lot of garbage at you right now. A lot of story punch, say, not garbage at you, and let's see how it lands and how you process it and everything like that. And it sounds like for everybody, they've processed it really well and they've all enjoyed the show and everything. It's the best thing since sliced bread, like I've said. But like for me, it was just like,
I just thought it was structurally really weird, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Random question. So as with most adaptations, it would be, it's a prequel or retelling. Or so, can you just go back to? Is it a retelling of like 1 and 2 in Vegas, or is it?
No, it's
is
very
it set like for people who jump into 3 or 4?
It's very clearly so. The way the Fallout games work is Fallout 1, and Fallout 2, and Fallout New Vegas are like one thing. Like,
Okay.
you can play New Vegas without playing the first two, but you're going to miss a lot of background details because New Vegas is a sequel to Fallout 1 and 2. And they're all set in roughly the same sort of California, Nevada area. Fallout 3 is its own thing. Like, it's way off in Washington, doesn't really concern itself with it. Fallout 3 is a weird, bad remake of the first game. Which in a strange roundabout way where you just follow Liam Neeson around for 30 hours. And Fallout 4 is, again, its own thing in Boston. And it doesn't really reference any of the rest, connect to any of the rest of it. And the series is a sequel to 1, 2 in New Vegas.
So it's that California, Nevada area.
Yeah, like the NCR's here, like you can see New Vegas at the end, like the Brotherhood of Steel. Like, I get why they keep using the Brotherhood of Steel. Like, the power armor is like the most iconic thing probably in like Fallout. But like, they really need to stop using the Brotherhood of Steel. Like, we blew them up, more or less.
So are we seeing like iconic villains? Are we seeing like death claws and things?
No, they've talked about like using stuff, and I think that's kind of smart. It's like we haven't seen death claws or super mutants yet.
And hold your powder dry.
It's like drip. But it's like I don't know. Like Moody says, it's like the first episode to the 8th episode, and then there's like 6 episodes in between. And I really liked episode 4, like I talked about last week. And there's some other stuff that I like about the TV show, but it's like you probably like from 1 to 8, and then like 2 through 7 is like what even happens in these episodes that makes a difference to the story. And I get like what they're going for. They're trying to be cute with the whole like, hey, like we said at the Walton Goggins line, where it's like the only golden rule of the wasteland is that will always get sidetracked by bullshit or whatever he says. And it's funny. It's a funny reference to side questing in the game, but like TV shows don't need
all the episodes did it.
All the episodes did it, and it's not building to anything. Like side stories in TV shows, for me personally, when I'm watching them, need to like have something to do with the main story. Like they need to like build in, or they just need to be like a fun diversion while other characters are doing the main story stuff, like B stories and stuff. But like this didn't do
they
either.
Can still have, and they can still have character growth within those side stories.
Sure.
And then that's what they bring back to the main story when they get back to it, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And like there was one, like that's probably why I like the 4th episode so much, where it's like there was like character growth, and it was it the only, like apart from the bit in the episode previous. Was it the only time, apart from at the very end, where Lucy and Walton Goggins were together?
I believe so, yes.
Well, that's probably why I liked it so much, because I like those two characters together, because they're really good mirrors of each other in terms of like morality and like the life that they've lived and stuff. And they do a good job of contrasting each other, but then they separate them after that. And they don't see each other again until the very end. And hopefully like they're going on a road trip in season 2 and they're going to be together the entire time. But yeah, it
would be smart if they do that. If they do that, that would be the best thing they did. Because, like I do agree with what Amy's saying, that the best contract was poised with Lucy and Nagul together. It was like a good contract where they bounced off each other. Obviously, Lucy's doesn't know anything about the world and everything like that. The Ghoul does. But obviously, Ghoul's obviously a mysterious past and everything and whatnot. And like, what's the actor's name? Goggins?
Walton Goggins.
Walton.
You were
Goggins.
close.
Like, he does a really good job. He does a really good job. But he has that. Like I said last week, he has that a charm appeal to him where you're rooting for him in some weird way, even if he was a villain or not. Like in Ant-Man, he had a charmness to him as well in Ant-Man 2, and he was just like. He just has that about him, and that's what helps. It's great. It gives you a character to go, yes, that's why. But thankfully, they do land on parts of where his story does get a lot better. And I'm hoping, like I agree with Amy, in season 2, the Ghoul and Lucy are together for hopefully the most of the part and everything. And if they get sidetracked, it's sidetracked for good reasons and everything that help move the story along, but also helps their character to growth and everything. I'm very interested in going to see what they're going to do with Maximus, I think his name is. He was the weakest character out of all three out of the three mains, and that's what I think also hurts, is that there's three main characters in this show, and they've diverged in so many different ways, and eventually all come back together. But it's just all over the
for
place
a minute,
and
then one of them gets knocked out, and it's a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, the NCR's here. Oh, they're all dead now.
Yeah,
Great.
The thing is about it, when Maximus was with Lucy, he started to just come out a little bit more of this. Obviously, his character is a very brainwashed character into knowing something this type of way and everything, of going in this type of direction. And obviously, he's like Lucy to a certain point where he's learning about new things, like what Lucy was and everything, who Lucy is and everything. But it's the earlier starts with him that just really hamper me with his character, but by the end, I was thinking, oh, something with these characters, and it's like that could be good if they work it really well and everything. But at the same time, I was just like, it feels a bit forced and a bit.
It was definitely forced and definitely rushed. I think what I wanted more than anything is I think I would have come out of this series being or this season being more positive on it if by the end you had all three main characters together in a party in an RPG maybe, and and then that's okay, so in season 2 they're going after this guy, and he's going here and they're gonna go here, maybe some stuff happens along the way, but they're together, and you've got these guys chasing them and you've got these guys chasing them, but and I was like, that would be a cool story setup, but that's not what they're setting up. And I don't know. It's weird. Maximus is still with the Brotherhood, and he's their hero now, and they've got fusion power. So why would they are they gonna they're gonna be the bad guys trying to take over the Wasteland, which would not be out of character for the Brotherhood of Steel. Spoiler alert for anybody who's only played Fallout 3. They're not the fucking good guys. They fucking suck. But I don't know. It's weird because normally at the end of a season, I feel excited for the next season because I'm like, oh, where are they going to go? Whereas this one, I'm like, where are we going with this? I don't know if I want to go this way. But that's a me thing. That's not a thing. It's people are enjoying it. More power to them. I just feel structurally, the story was a bit of a mess, and it wasn't really something that I was vibing with. There was just happened to be enough in there to keep me going, I'll watch it. I'll watch these 8 episodes as time went on. But also being apart from that one last shot where I'm I have to see what they're doing here, of being when season 2 comes out, I'm sure I'll watch it eventually. But not being how I was when Star Trek Picard season 3 and all the people are coming back, and I was like,
yes. Is it time? How about now?
Whereas with season 2, I'm just I'm sure I'll hear about it, and then I'll be oh, it's out. Yeah, sure, I've got some time. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at with Fallout.
Hell yeah.
I think I'm pretty much the same and everything like that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So you're gonna watch it, Vitz, after that? Bear in mind, we're the minority opinion here.
Yeah, we are very much the minority here.
I think I'm done giving Todd Howard any more attention.
Fair enough. You played Starfield after all.
I've done my time.
Just think Fallout's just more popular than it's ever been. Bethesda and Todd Howard are really, really popular at the minute. But we've somehow created a podcast of people who are just nah, I'm good. I'm not picking up. I'm not vibing with what you're selling.
Yep, that's it.
Statistically, that should be unlikely.
Yeah, one of us should be the ultimate.
Well, one of us should be hell yeah. Because I'm playing Fallout 76 this weekend, guys. It did take a lot of effort not to reinstall Fallout New Vegas after I finished watching the show.
I'm amazed you haven't reinstalled it. Because I know you're a big fan of it and everything, so...
I'm making a video of something else, and I can't do a Fallout TV show. I can't get distracted again. And like the thing about when I next play Fallout New Vegas, it's gonna be when I'm making a video about Fallout, because I want to make a video about Fallout at some point. But right now it's like, I mean, as you guys know, like I'm slowed down a bit making stuff at the minute.
Yeah.
But like I want to like I have to finish this one thing. Like I'm doing that thing where I'm like, I'm gonna do this until I'm finished it, or it kills me. It's 50-50 at the minute. But yeah, you know, like the next thing I want to do is like I gotta talk about Fallout. I want to do it now, but Fallout. I can't make a video be critical of Fallout 3 now.
Yes.
I'll get ruined.
You get even more lynched. Yeah, absolutely. One last question on Fallout before I reckon we move on. Do they do anything like Megaton style? Like, is there a big Megaton bomb, and then Lucy has to, is that the main protagonist, has to make a moral decision in terms of, does she do it, does she not?
No.
Okay.
No, that's a dumb quest.
No, not at all.
I'm doing it. I'm already doing it. Sorry. Sometimes it just comes out and I can't help it. No, I don't think she makes any kind of decision like that in the entire show.
No, not at all. Oh.
In fact, now that
more of a leading question about her agency in these things.
Well, no,
Obviously, she's a fish out of water.
Now that you've asked that question, I'm like, does she even make any choices in the entire series? I suppose she does in episode 4.
She makes a choice in episode 1.
Yeah, I suppose she does. Yeah, she
in episode 4, yeah, she
has
does
that moment in episode
doesn't...
4, yeah.
Yeah.
And then in episode 8, she's just kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she really is, yeah.
Oh my God, she just kind of stands there like, and it's like, come on.
With perfect hair, by the way. Her hair was immaculate during this giant battle. It was insane. Having a shower really does help.
It really does.
Does wonders, everybody.
We talked about Fallout enough so that we don't have to talk about any of these news stories. We did it, guys.
Yeah, let's go to the close, everybody.
We did it.
Yay.
I was wondering if it was going to be like a quick 5-minute thing where me and Moody both just went, yeah, basically the same as last week, or if it was going to be like a thing and it was a thing. And that's cool.
But now you're done with Fallout. Now you can watch X-Men. I'm joking. I know you're going to wait till they're all queued up.
No, she can watch Shogun because that now has finished.
Oh, yeah. I've got all of those queued up. I've got all 10 episodes. So, yeah, when we get around to it.
What was I going to watch next? There was something specific I was going to watch next. Shogun was the one after the thing I was going to watch next, because I remember I was making like a list of things, or like looking at a list of things. And I was like, I want to watch Shogun, but there was something I want to watch first.
Discovery?
No, I need to go on Crunchyroll.
It's an anime.
Yeah, it's an anime. Yeah, they dubbed the second season of an anime I was watching. Finally,
fair enough.
I'm not against subs. It's just I watched the first season dubbed, and I don't like doing that thing. I don't like switching part way through.
That's fair.
So I watched that, and then Shogun. Yeah, everyone keeps talking about Shogun, so maybe I'll watch that. We'll see. I mean, the thing that everybody likes was Fallout, and I didn't like it very much. I didn't like it as much. So, you know, popular opinion isn't swaying me at the moment. You all tricked me into watching Fallout.
But hey, in just a few short weeks, it might be next week actually. Godzilla -1.
It's to
so
rent,
we
right?
may have to jump that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm on it anyway. OpenCritic head-to-head.
Just want to state this number I am changing has changed. Saga has now 74.
Oh, dang it.
That means it's a tie.
You know what? I think I'm going to start, like, I think I'm going to implement a new rule where it's like, once I hit record.
And that's it. Yeah, then the scores are locked in, right? Yeah.
Not for
that's not fair.
Not for any like points reasons or anything like that. Just because I'm sick of sitting here like live updating the
points.
The points. Although I will say, Vitz,
Hello.
Stop leaving 1 points gap between the two of us because you keep doing this and this keeps happening. Either pick the next one down or pick the one right next to me.
Okay, right, got it.
You've done this to us 4 times. There's 4 draws, and they've all been me and you because you keep doing this to me.
We're team same brain. What can we say?
Team same brain you in a minute. Anyway, this is the game we play every week where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of upcoming games. Whoever gets as closest to the score gets a point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Last week, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of 5 games because it was a big week for mid-tier games. Don't mean that in an insulting way. I mean that in a complimentary way because AAA games are the worst. Yeah. The first one we tried, I guess, Uden Chronicle 100 Heroes. I guessed it would get a 76. Vitz guessed it would get an 80. Moody guessed it would get a 75. At the time of recording, Uden Chronicle 100 Heroes has an OpenCritic average of 76, which means I get 2 points.
Jeez.
I forgot to do the thing where it's like, this game is just an excuse to talk about video games.
It's an excuse to be mean to me, apparently, is what it is.
It's just brain. I'll ask the question I was going to ask after we've done all 5. The next one we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of was Tales of Kenzera Zhao. I guessed it would get a 78. Vitz guessed it would get an 80. Moody guessed it would get an 82 at the time of recording. The game has an OpenCritic average of 77, which means I get another point. It's been a big week for me. We also tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Saga Emerald Beyond. I guessed it would get a 73. Vitz guessed it would get a 75. Moody guessed it would get a 76. At the time of recording, it has a 74, the only number.
Okay, I'm not going to take the loss on this one. Before Moody went and checked it, it was at 75.
It's true.
I'm not taking the loss on that one.
It was a 76 this morning. It was a 75 when I did the notes.
There you go. Then.
It's a 74 now. Tomorrow morning it'll be a 73.
Okay.
We also tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Stellar Blade. I guessed it would get a 69 and threatened to quit the podcast and video games altogether if it did in fact get a 69 because that would have been a meme too far. Vitz guessed it would get a 78. Moody guessed it would get a 79. And thankfully for my future career of talking about and playing video games, Stellar Blade has an OpenCritic average of 83, which means Moody gets the point.
GG, Moody's.
And lastly, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Sandland. I guessed it would get a 74. Vitz guessed it would get a 70. Moody guessed it would get a 75. At the time of recording, Sandland has an OpenCritic average of 73, which means Amy gets a point, which means I jumped all the way up to 11 points with my 4 new points. Moody is still 8 points ahead of me on 19. Vitz still has 4. Yeah. You almost had 6.
I almost had 6. There you go.
And we've got 4 draws.
Yes.
We've had more draws than you've correctly guessed games.
Hey, with a double or nothing strategy.
But what stinks is all of the draws are your fault too. So before we move on to guessing the one game that I've got on the list for next week, I just listed 5 brand new shiny releases. I'm not going to say is anyone going to sit down and play them immediately, but is anyone going to play them or thinking about playing any of them at some point?
The one that was speaking to me was Tales of Kenzera Zhao. Having said that, because the kind of critical response was a little bit cooler than I was originally expecting. Now, understandably, it's the studio's first game and think I appreciate it's published by EA as an EA original and all the rest of it, but it is the studio's first title. It's not a... From what I can tell, it's not as polished experience and the tightest experience as I was originally expecting, so that would have been the one. But from this list, no, I can't see myself getting to these games.
I mean, you've got one on the way.
Installed.
You bought that, didn't you? Yeah, you bought Tales of Kenzera.
Yeah, I already bought it and everything like that. Yeah, I have Tales already installed. I think I've done an hour of it. Not even that, I think. because I started falling asleep, and I was like, "Yeah, I gotta put this down." I have the booty game on the way. Will I get to it? I don't know yet. But yeah, we'll see what happens and whatnot. Like I'm like balancing like 3 games at once right now. I'm going through Final Fantasy 9. I'm gonna restart Aliens Dark Descent. And I've got Tales on right now, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Oh no! And
I've got other games installed as well.
Yeah, you were just saying you installed a couple of games on your Xbox as well.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to those. I don't think like that length of the install. It just made me go,
fuck you.
Just sucked the enthusiasm out of me. So I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not touching you for a bit.
Yeah, like for me, I'm looking at this list of games, and it's like there's a couple on here where it was like they're not on my radar. They're on the radar where I know what they are, but like they were never on my sort of to play radar. It's like Stellar Blade is. I mean, it's been a saga leading up to release. That's just made me be like, it looks like it could be an Amy game, but it's also, I don't know if I'd feel embarrassed playing it at this point. But like, Tales of Kenzera, I'd still like to try out at some point. But the thing is, like, nothing on this list, regardless of critical reception, like as you both know, I don't really like let the critical reception of a game drive where I'm going in terms of what I'm playing. But I don't think anything has that sort of pull to like pull me away from Dragon's Dogma 2 right now. Like I've been playing it since last Friday, maybe it was when I started playing it, Friday or Saturday. And like it's got its hooks in, and the hooks are in deep enough for me where it's like there's games, you know, Kenzera and Stellar Blade both interest me, but it's like I think Dragon's Dogma 2 is going to last me until about when Animal Well comes out, and that's a game I'm really excited to play. So it's like, I don't know if any of these games are going to like squeeze their way in the middle of that sort of window.
Have you had a chance to look into Another Crab's Treasure?
So I know of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Is that one that's speaking to you?
Like, I don't really know enough about it. Like, I'd have to look at like some gameplay and stuff for it. Like, that's kind of how I've been making my decisions of games. Like, apart from the ones that I know I'm going to play. Like, I played Princess Peach after I watched like a couple of gameplay trailers, and Pacific Drive. I was like, ooh, let me check out this gameplay. And I was like, oh, that looks pretty good. I'll play that.
There you go.
Like, the thing about the critical reception stuff is like, I used to pay attention to it like a while ago, and this isn't even like one of my jokey digs at game critics that I do sometimes at this segment of the podcast. This is just like what I've been tending to find is like, and this isn't all of the time, but a lot of the time when a game gets like a high Metacritic score, it's because it's more of the same. If you know what I mean, like it's because it's like, whoa, you know, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is very much like a game I've played 100 times before, but Final Fantasy VII with like the story and setting and whatnot. Whereas like swimming around in sort of like the 70s to 80s, it's like you find games that are more, not necessarily like worse, but more divisive because like they've tried to do some different stuff. And obviously like that doesn't always, like Dragon's Dogma 2 does, but Dragon's Dogma 2 has like an 80, God knows what, 7 I think. But like you tend to find like a lot more unique games in that sort of range. So like for me, it's like looking at games that have like a 77 or a 76, you know, it's like, oh, why? Is it because they're not as good as the other games, or is it because they're more divisive and there's like sort of more love to hate ratio?
I totally get that. For me, where I'm coming from, it's never about the final aggregate score of it being a 77 or whatever it happens to be. I know the type of video game critics that I vibe with in terms of, oh, if this person's enjoyed this game, then there's high chance that I'm going to enjoy that type of game too, kind of thing. It's more about the conversation they're having about the game, of what they enjoy, what they didn't enjoy, kind of thing. And that kind of gives you my steer in terms of, rather than just looking at the score, it's looking at the meat of their critique, for a better word. But you're right. I mean, you're the only person who can ultimately tell whether the game's going to be right for you, and your time is probably better spent these days with titles which are taking a risk rather than just doing the same old. Oh, it's a Ubisoft tower. Here's a bunch of icons on the screen. Go do that. Go do all of those kind of things. So yeah,
I'm finding I guess I'm finding out interesting things about my like taste in games in 2024. Partially from going back and playing games from like 10 and 20 years ago. But also like, yeah, from like the games that I'm vibing with and looking at like the list of games that I've played, it's like the ones that I'm vibing with versus the ones that I'm not vibing with so much. It's just like, oh, that's interesting. And then sort of doubling down on like the top half of that list and going, okay, let me look for more experiences that are like this. And then going, oh, I really like these. What inspires? But yeah, I know what you mean. It's like there's certain people like you do, like my the running joke on the podcast is like if Rebecca Valentine likes a game, I'll probably like it.
Yeah.
I've tended to find over the years, where it's like she'll start tweeting about a game, and when me and Moody were both on Twitter, like he'd see it and he'd be like, "So you're playing it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm playing it. I've downloaded it, yeah." But like you have that, don't you?
Well,
it's like you vibe with certain people who have similar tastes to you. Sorry, Moody, go on.
No, I agree. Like there's people that you vibe with and everything. There's no doubt about it. Like Gamey's got me to play a couple of games that I've literally fell in love with and everything, and like thought they were really, really good and everything. It's like, but the thing is, right now it's like we're in a bit of a lull period. It seems like compared to what like 2024 seemed like it was. Everyone just kept on going. Oh my god, there's too many games. And right now it just feels like I'm playing old games right now, not really many new games. And it's like the industry's literally threw everything at last year, not thinking, oh, we could maybe just stretch it one more year to get it polished. Jedi survive. And other games.
And all the time in the world. Look at all this space you got to release in.
Yeah.
You could have done it now.
Yeah, it's just like a little bit, kind of, yeah. Like the really big, quote unquote, big-ish release that's next month. It's Hellblade 2, which is only going to be apparently like an 8-10 hour experience. Fucking fabulous. It's probably the next time I'm turning my Xbox back on. And
Depends if we hit
it's
that
like-
milestone.
There you go.
But I get what you're coming from.
that's
But
what-
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I do think part of like, especially with you and me, Moody, like Vitz has always played games like a normal person, as opposed to always trying to be on the cutting edge.
It's not like being normal, Vitz.
I'm broken in many, many, many other ways, so I don't think I'm qualified to say.
I don't think it's necessarily the lull. Like, I think if we'd been coming, because we came into 2024 and like we've talked about it, like it's like a story arc on this podcast almost for the last 4 months of being like we're very much like burned out on a lot of different aspects of games, and we've both sort of been trying to like find our way through. And one of the things that we sort of found our way through with is actually like I don't want to play a new game right now. I want to have a familiar experience, or I want to have an experience like Final Fantasy VI with me, like not that long ago, where it's like I want to have this experience right now, and not necessarily like tying it to a date, right? Where it's like I feel like I need to play a game from this year. It's like, no, I'm playing Dragon's Dogma 2 because it interested me in the moment. You know, like you're playing Final Fantasy 9 because it interested you in the moment. So I feel like if we'd come into 2023, even with the amount of bangers that came out in 2023, if we were still in that mindset in January 2023, I think we'd still be in the same boat where it's like, yeah, sure, all these big games have come out, but right now I want to play a Final Fantasy 9, so I'm going to play a Final Fantasy 9. Like, yeah,
That's fair.
Which game are we guessing this week?
Anyway, so.
hell yeah, we do. Well, that is probably my next game. Like after I do Dragon's Dogma, if I haven't finished Dragon's Dogma by the time it comes out, Dragon's Dogma's done.
There you go.
Either way, I've been excited for this game since I saw the reveal trailer. But yeah, we should probably finish OpenCritic head-to-head. So we're guessing a game next week. This week for next week. It's called Endless Ocean Luminous, which was Nintendo Direct reveal, I think, at some point earlier this year. And someone has just deleted
Just
the entire thing.
No, we're not picking that game. We're making a different game. That's what's happening.
Control C, not Control X.
Yeah.
Anyway, after that massive diatribe about video games, Moody, what do you think? Endless Ocean Luminous. Do you know anything about this? Because I do.
I have no fucking idea what this game is whatsoever. Like, I've just
By
had a
the
quick
looks
look
of
at
it,
it, which
it's
I'm
like
guessing
a-
what Vitz is doing right now. And I'm like, I have no idea what this is, so I'm gonna go 75.
I think it's like equivalent to an Abzu, but in like 3D, rather than playing on a 2D plane.
It's absolutely okay. I don't do underwater games, so I was
Fair
like,
enough.
wait,
You
Absi
need
wasn't
to
in
do this.
3D. I can't even handle Echo the Dolphin, man. Oh, it's me. Shit. Endless Ocean Luminous. Yeah, sure. Let's go. Let's go 70. 70.
Okay, so he's telling me don't go 72 or 68.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Let's go 71 then, please.
Okay.
It's gonna be 69, isn't it?
I'll cry.
Or worse for you, it's gonna be 74 for me.
Look, right? You were like, I know we did a thing a while ago where I turned around a 10-point deficit, and it was a whole thing at the end of the year, and I almost got there, but like failed at the last week. That was fun, but you've been more than 10 points ahead for about 2 months now. Like,
Yep.
so even though I just like did like take a big chunk out of you, like you won this game in like February. At this point, OpenCritic Head to Head is about talking about video games that are coming out.
Yeah, this is Moody's victory lap and talking about games.
There's still 8 months to go with many games to choose from.
Like, just enjoy the victory lap, Moody.
No, I'm not going to enjoy anything until I get that sweet, sweet win at the end of the year.
All right, okay. How about this?
It's our final episode, our final podcast of the year.
Let's see how this right. Mooney has already won this game in like
bad this is.
February. Yep. Signed Amy April 25th, 2024.
There you go.
The day before Alien Day.
The day before Alien Day. And that'll still be true in December.
Yep.
But we get to talk about games. Like, that's what it's all about, right? Like, you see
We sure
games
do.
coming out, and it's like, ooh, what are we excited for? Are we going to play any of these games? You know, like, this last part of the podcast has gone through a lot of variations. Remember when we used to read all of the things where it was like, this game's coming out, and this game's coming out? That was bad. This is good.
It sure is.
And we have a fun little game for
Endless
Moody to
Ocean
win.
Lewis.
Uh-huh.
I'm not touching that game. So I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, same, but for
You want to do
reasons
a
of...
rundown on Fantasy Critic?
No. No, looking at the clock, no. Vitz has his
Just two
hand up.
things before we throw it to the outro. First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this refresh of all the assets and things. Do let us know if you like what we're putting down in terms of the vibes and the new look. Drop a little comment for us in all the places that you can, leave a review, and make me feel better about the creative choices that I've done, because it was quite the effort to do this, finding my feet in the whole graphic design space, but I like what I put down, and hopefully you do too. And then also be sure to check out Roll Dice and Play Nice over on my channels coming soon, because we are, with all things being well, should be recording the next episode this weekend. So I'm sure the team here have totally remembered about that and making all the faces like, yes,
I have.
yeah, absolutely.
Because you said
more
once
reading.
you've done that, you're going to play Act Like a Dragon, and I have the screenshot.
I sure did.
In case you deleted the
and
message.
I showed you that I showed you that it's installed and everything. But yeah, so I'm looking forward
to be
to.
like, I roll the dice, I land on 10, I stab myself in the gut, Vitz go play
Oh
for
no, I'm
like a dragon.
dead. Guess it's time to play with Yakuza Like a Dragon Pit.
There you go. But yeah, very much looking forward to jump back into D&D with these two fabulous people. And be sure to check out that when it posts soon after.
Cool. Next time you're
also
gonna
charity. Go donate and share the link.
Next time you're gonna do some promo for yourself, Vitz.
Yeah.
Do it at the beginning, not at the end. Or both.
Okay.
Like, you're allowed to do it at the beginning. That's fine.
Well, I did the promo for the charity thing at top, and then I just mentioned charity just then, so I did.
No,
that.
I mean for your D&D stuff. Like,
Oh,
you're
I
allowed to
get
talk about it way earlier. Before me, but you can talk about it before everybody stops watching because they hate me and Moody because we don't like Fallout, is what I'm saying. Me and Moody are inevitably going to annoy everybody who's watching and or listening. You want to get your stuff in before we start talking.
But I talk shit about Todd Howard too, so they hate me equally, so it's all good.
Really, would you like to end the podcast?
Say the things that make us all smile.
What up, everybody? You made it. Another day is behind you. Another week has passed. We are all proud of you. You are special. You deserve the absolute best. You are truly good enough. You're going to be great. You're doing great. We believe in you. 400 episodes have passed. Many more in the future. Live long and prosper. High five the sky. And as always, fuck the Tories!
If you live in London, watch out for them horses.
Yeah. Peace, everybody.